All right. Yo, 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 yo. It's the kid. 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 We have lots of interesting stuff to talk about, man. It is the hangout, the Sunday football thing. Look, man, as I said again, on the docket, as you can see there, it's Man City and Liverpool. We're going to be reacting to that game. We're going to be looking about the Bayern Dortmund game, looking at Jadon Sancho, talking about Sterling, talking about Salah, we're going to talk about Dybala, about the Neymar loan, and we've got to talk about the guy who decided to take the mic yet again. Okay? We've got to talk about that dude that decided to take the mic yet again. So he didn't learn the first time. But he took the mic again, and look, and I know, let me be real, as people said, he didn't say the exact same thing that he did before.
Thank you,
So it's easy, but no, look, he didn't, because we have to really break down exactly what he said. But we will get to that story later on in the program. But first of all, let us react to, of course, the match itself, which is Man City against Liverpool. Now, I have been attacked. I have come under attack. So I put out my post-match analysis, and I think I'm on about 23, 24, 25 dislikes right now because I said that Man City totally beat down and tactically ripped up Liverpool in that first half. And Liverpool definitely played a lot better in the second half, but they played better in the second part of the second half. But overall, Man City were the better team because City looked sharper, they looked fitter, looked quicker to the ball, and they should have won the game by 2, 3, 4 goals. They were overall the better team. And Liverpool fans, for some reason, took that the wrong way. I don't know why, but they took that the wrong way. But as people who know me will know that I'm not here to tell you what you'd like to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. All I'm here are about facts. And the fact of the matter is that I felt that City were the better team, and they should have really won by more. And if Raheem Sterling's finishing was better and much more crisp and much more precise, they would have won by more. Fact of the matter, they would have won by more if his finishing was much more precise. So let us reflect on this. And of course, we have to start off first with the Man City merchant of a fan called Mane. So Mane, man, give me your thoughts and your review and your analysis of Man City's win over Liverpool, your sworn rivals. Okay, I don't think Mane's mic is working there. So, Abdullahi, your thoughts on the game, man? City and Liverpool.
Yeah, double is a very. I watched your review. What you said.
You're cutting up a bit,
My,
but you're cutting up a bit.
can you hear me now?
Yeah. You were just cutting up, but yeah, okay, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay. What's called your preview when you say they're gonna do this is gonna win. I remember you said so. It was a very good match, but Mo Salah should because he missed a lot of huge. Salah missed one on one. Lord, if you have killed that match,
Eh,
those one on one is so.
wait. I think you have to your mic has to be a lot better because we can't really hear. But I'll come back to you. Just have to fix your mic. Let me go to Ahmed. So Ahmed, thoughts on the City Liverpool game? Does this show that City can win the Champions League?
I mean, before this match, we all considered, most of us considered City as contenders for next season's Champions League. But what I think this speaks to is that Klopp needs to learn that if he takes the tactic that he took in the first half, he's not going to beat City. He did this at the Etihad last season, it didn't work. But when they played more offensive, like they did in the second half, they played better. And I think most importantly, what this match shows is that Liverpool need an addition to the front three because when you're missing Salah or you're missing Mane, they work very well together. But if it's one by themselves, like Salah by himself, he's not going to be as effective as with Mane. He needs Mane or he needs someone better because Origi on the wing was horrendous to watch.
Oh,
That's what
very
it speaks
bad.
to most.
Okay. Hardcore thoughts on this. Has Pep proven himself to maybe take City to the final step and win the CL? How impressive was City, and what did Liverpool do wrong? Hardcore.
All right, hello. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, go,
Oji?
go. Yeah.
Okay, so City and Liverpool. I thought they were absolutely, and don't get me wrong, I thought Liverpool played brilliant. I thought Liverpool played brilliant. The problem here is they couldn't capitalize on their chances. Salah kept on missing chances. Ronaldo was very rusty. Like it wasn't from the Ronaldo that I remembered from the end of the season last season, And I just felt like very they missed Naby Keita. I think if they started Naby Keita in the first half, I think they probably would have won the game in a full 90
Keita
minutes.
has been pretty iffy. He's not been that great though, but
I know he's not been that great, but like even the first half and even the second half, you saw Liverpool was really pushing City and pinning them back. You get what I'm trying to say? And they just needed someone who was a bit creative, who could make magic out of nothing. So to be honest, real talk, like I'm not even gonna lie, but I just feel like City are just so good in domestic. They're a league team and they're a good domestic cup team. You get what I'm saying? That's the only thing City is really good at. And I just felt like since if they're gonna go to penalties and there's no extra time, then yeah, I mean City is definitely gonna win because I've seen Bravo like 4 or 5 times doing penalty saves and he's terrific. Like internationally, in penalty shootouts. Like this guy is like so amazing. I don't know how he does it. So I just I think Liverpool is really unlucky. To be
okay.
honest, I think Liverpool is really unlucky. But I think Liverpool, if they get Sadio Mane, I think maybe that could also solve some part of the issue, and then maybe start with Naby Keita rather than starting Ronaldo because he's looking a bit rusty. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right, cool. All right, Jalen.
Yeah. Now, see, I think Liverpool. I think the game was pretty even. I think the second half. I think Liverpool was better than Man City. Arguably, they could have won the game, but I don't see Man City winning the Champions League. They're not even in my top five.
Whoa, what the hell?
Um,
Wait, excuse me? How are they not in your top
not at, they're
five?
not in. No, they're not
Facts,
in the top five.
Jalen. Facts,
They're
Jason.
horrible in Europe. Yeah. But Liverpool was definitely missing Mane. If Mane was there, I think they would have won the game at least like 2-1 or 3-1. But yeah, man, I think Man City will definitely win the league again. And yeah, that's it, man.
Okay, Juju man.
Oh, yeah, with this game, I mean, I already mentioned this and I received a lot of hate. I said Mo Salah is wasteful, and I mean, we saw it today. 10 chances, no, like how can you have 10 chances and he gets
That's a
that?
starting,
No,
starting,
no,
starting.
it's
Jojo my
no,
starting. It's not even
no,
true.
no. It's,
Starting.
yeah, it's he gets 10 chances. I mean, today got 10 chances. He gets at least 5 chances each game, and he should be having Messi numbers. But he's so wasteful, and everyone's in denial. And that was the 1 point. Second point, Liverpool have they have a strong centre back partnership now. It's now confirmed. It's Matip and based on how they play Matip and the other guy
Van Dijk.
and Van Dijk.
Juju man, don't be rude. That is a potential Ballon d'Or winner, man. Don't be rude, man.
No.
Remember his name. Say his
Maybe-
name.
yeah, and what you call, and I think it's a bit from Liverpool. I think it's a bit naive to just take the same team and go with the season. I mean, it's not going to be the same because
They need
City
to
have
buy.
improved.
They need to buy,
Yeah,
yeah.
they need to improve. Like, you can't just go with the same. They're moving backwards. Like you can't just go with the same team. And I looked at Naby Keita. I think the one part he was caught on the ball, and I'm not sure if he fits the Liverpool system. And that was it. As for Man City, I mean, I don't think Rodri, Gundogan was sloppy. De Bruyne was tired. Was tired at that towards the end of the second half. Phil Foden, I think, has a great future ahead of him, and Gabi Jesus, he's a good player, and Fernandinho, I don't think is it's enough to replace him. He has to get more. I think Fernandinho has to get more time, and with this, the one thing that makes this, and to end, the one thing that makes this, I mean, this is Liverpool should not be. I mean, should have won this game because that centre back partnership. I mean, Laporte was not there, so Stones is the second string, and you have another second string in the left back Zilchenko. So I mean, Liverpool should have scored at least two goals.
Wait,
So,
Jujuman, just to be clear, you're a Man City supporter now, aren't you?
yes,
Okay,
2 years.
okay.
I joined the club since when the oil money came.
Jujuman, you don't have to tell me where the money comes from. I'm trying to make a deal with those people. Please don't reveal my details. But
Yeah.
do you think, from what you've seen, and I know it's early, but from what you've seen, do you think that your team can bring home the Champions League this season?
Look, for the Champions League, I would focus on the domestic cups because it's
Jujuman,
attainable.
don't give me that crap.
No, there's a lot.
It's
There's a lot involved
it's
in the
Champions League or bust. Okay,
No.
quickly. We have to round up because I've got to get to the other.
Yeah,
Just very
so-
briefly.
Briefly.
Will you
Yep.
Champions League or not this season? Yes or no?
I'll take all the domestic cups before Champions League.
Jesus. Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
it's not because I have my reasons. I mean, if you want, I can go because Champions League. There's a lot of luck involved, and everything has to be aligned to win Champions League. Like, let's say you top the
But
group.
there's no luck
You
in the
can
care
no.
about.
Let's say you top the group. You can get Barcelona, and half of your players can be injured. Like you are out, even if you want to. Like you have to, everything has to be correct. All the stars have to be aligned for Champions League. So I'll take the domestic.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay. Thank you.
it's
Thank you.
reasonable.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Liverpool v everybody, bro. Thoughts on this and thoughts on your Liverpool side. Are you worried?
I'm back, doubly.
Okay. No.
No.
I'll get to you. Liverpool, everybody. Go for it.
I'm not worried. I think I'll say the least amount that I can say about the Egyptian king, the better. I'll just leave it at that.
Jesus.
The fact that the goal came from two defenders, one assist to the other, and that's your only goal. I'm hearing Liverpool fans saying there were positives to take from that game. Look, the only positive was that Sterling still loves Liverpool. And I say that because he should have had a hat trick in that game, and he still looked shook playing against Liverpool. Even the goal he scored, was that Karius or was that Mignolet?
Damn.
It was
Mane, your turn isn't chill. Liverpool, everybody finish.
So I'm not. This loss doesn't make me feel like we're going to do bad in the season, but there are definitely some questions that need to be answered. And the main question is that guy up front on the right side. So.
Jesus. All right. Nish.
Yeah, there's three things. So first, if you want to say that like City completely dominated the game, like you would be spot on for the first half because I think they definitely could have scored 3 or 4 goals in that first half alone. But in the second half, I think Liverpool played very well, and they could have had 4 goals in that second half because look, they hit the crossbar twice, and then there was another ridiculous like off the goal line clearance from this time it was from Walker, similar to the Stones one in the league last season, and the thing is that I think this is just more preseason rustiness. It doesn't really mean anything, like because both teams like had issues, but both teams for this stage of the season played well, in my opinion. As I think the key difference was the fitness of Sterling versus the fitness of Salah. I don't know, this is definitely not the Salah that was performing towards the tail end of last season. He definitely looks rusty, especially after AFCON. I think every time he got the ball, instead of continuing with the play, he chose to cut it on his left and shoot it. And if only I had a dime for every time he did that and hit a weak shot into the near post, which Bravo easily saved.
Bro.
Wow.
That guy took about. That guy was shoot on sight. But we'll get to Salah. Don't worry. Karen.
Yeah. So I mean that was pretty much it. I think 1-1 was a fair reflection of the game. And Sterling I think he played pretty good. I think the fitness of City's wingers is excellent. Sane and Sterling, and hopefully for City they don't lose Sane. And last thing, we have to give praise to Kevin De Bruyne. He was Belgium's best player of the World Cup.
Easy, Nish. Easy, Nish. Easy, Nish. Stay on the points.
No, in my opinion, the best player in the Premier League, 17-18 season. This is the kind of player that you pay 130 millions for, not the sumo
130.
Yeah, 130
That's
millions
it?
for, dude. Yeah, dude, not the sumo wrestler playing left wing for Real Madrid right now.
Exactly.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Preach.
Okay. All right. Okay. Rahimski.
Going into this game. Sorry, what was the question again?
No. Just thoughts on the Liverpool Man City game, man. on the
Okay,
competition
well,
game.
in general, going into this game, I was thinking, oh man, two of the best tactical managers in the world. Who's going to outdo the other? But throughout the match, I was just watching. I'm just like, man, Pep is actually just peppering Klopp. Like it's not even close tactically. And the reason we're talking about, well, the reason we're making Salah a talking point is because yes, he had chances, but for the most part, he was mitigated in that game. And you can make the excuses that Salah's not the player he once was, or Salah's out of form because of the season. But at the end of the day, a world class player will come clutch there. And you guys know my opinion on De Bruyne. I've never been the biggest De Bruyne fan, but I do have to admit the performance in that game was definitely a little eye opening. I just think for the most part, Pep destroyed Klopp tactically in that game. That's the
Boom.
main reason.
Well, Rahimski, I wish that you did the post match instead of me, because Liverpool fans will then be hating you as much as they did me. Because everyone says that I watched a different game. But look, we'll get to everyone. Okay, Madori, I will get back to people who have missed this. Don't worry. Mane.
Yeah, I mean, for me, people are going too harsh on Salah. He was the only one offensively making any chance. He had a couple of chances. He hit the post, and he came relatively close. But overall, for the game, Liverpool, they have a very weak midfield, as always. So that's how they lose games. And you see Van Dijk got exposed by Gabriel Jesus because now that the midfield isn't protecting him, he has to come forward and push up. And that creates open chances. And defensively, he's not as strong as people will make him seem like, oh my, Van Dijk, Iron Man. Nah. He's vulnerable. One on one, he can easily be beaten. So this Ballon d'Or nonsense has to end.
Ben hype.
City, yeah, City. Otherwise, I think Sterling had a good game. Other than he's still, preseason, kind of missed a couple of chances, but he's lucky he at least scored one. The team overall looks stronger than ever. I think the defense is organized. I think Rodri's a good addition. He makes the midfield
Wait.
stronger, and it
Okay.
seems
Okay.
like
Oh, okay. But okay, actually, no. I will get to that question a bit afterwards when we go through everyone. But okay, just round off, and then I have another question. Round off.
And as well as that, I think Claudio Bravo as well. I gotta give him credit. He was very good penalties, and he played a good game. But overall, it's a good game. But Liverpool, I don't know. I don't think they can win the league with that team. It's just with the arrogance as well. And why doesn't he play Shaqiri instead of Origi? That's my big question. Shaqiri is so much better. And when he came in as well, he made a difference. He had that chance on the right side. There's no reason why Origi is playing a winger, whereas Shaqiri is a much better option. So it's a question mark for Klopp, and as well, they need a big midfielder. Those three are average midfielders. If you rate them out of 100, it's 75s. Those are the kind of midfielders they have. But overall, I don't think they can win the league with that team. Absolutely not.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. So very briefly, Abdullahi, thoughts on the game. Very briefly, Abdullahi.
Yeah, WH it was a good game. First half, Man City was playing. Second half, they didn't play anything. It was Liverpool that was taking all the chances. And I will go on Salah. I will really go on Salah. I don't know why. Like what Jujima said, you can't tell me you're a world class player. You missed 10 solid chances. One on one, 10 chances. You can't even bury one. Just one. That was the same problem Salah was having last year with Mane. If you see one on one with Salah, pass to man, let Mane score. You want to do everything. You want to be the superstar in that team. So football doesn't work that way. You gotta play as a team. That's the same problem Salah is having now. You gotta have someone on one. A player is free. Just pass the ball to the player and let's kill off this match. He wants to score everything. He wants to be the superstar in that team. He's the one that caused the match. For me, Man City wasn't superb like the best. They didn't even show their superiority. It was Salah that killed the match because if all those chances he saw, if they score at least one or two chances there, Man City would have not even come back. Because me, I don't trust that defender of Man City. Otamendi and Stones, I don't even trust them. Going them into Premier League and Champions League, I do not trust them because if they play a very quality opponent in Champions League like Juventus, they will be lubricated. Real Madrid, they will beat them hands down. I don't even care. Real Madrid are not informed this year. Atletico Madrid, they're gonna be massive because of those defense. I don't trust them.
Okay.
Those defense, I'm not trusting them because there's no company anymore. So they can easily get out. The problem was like Liverpool was just missing chances, and I'll blame club. Why do you play Henderson? Why do you play Henderson? What's this guy doing on bench? Oscar Chamberlain. Wasn't he doing on bench?
Oh no. But I think the Ox they're easing him back in there, easing him back in. But trust me, I'd like you. Don't worry. August 14th they will be delivered. August 14th they'll get delivered. They'll get delivered. Don't worry. Easy. Okay. Wait. Easy guys. Chill guys. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Wait. Okay. We've got to move on. Okay. Forward. Thoughts on this? Keep it brief. Thoughts on this?
My check 1, 2.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Check. Yeah.
I was having a great weekend, and yeah, it was a really good game. A really high quality game considering how early we are on into the season. Again, looking at both teams, I feel like starting with Man City, you can see what Rodri brings to the team. Again, they quoted Jorginho last season. I feel like Rodri really helps with like the facilitation of their midfield. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit more time to adapt to the Premier League, but I feel like he's going to have a really good season for them. But as we saw with their defense, with the amount of chance that they allowed Salah to have, they're not going to win the Champions League with Stones and Otamendi in the backline. That's a B level. That's a B level backline. So
Wait. Actually, wait. So sorry. Wait. Whoever is a mod, I think somebody may have taken over Hazem's mic. So
Hazem, your mic is acting up.
Yeah, I think Ramsey. I think if you're a mod, just like mute him or something, because I think someone has taken over his mic.
I'm Hazem's brother.
oh boy.
Okay, yeah, someone's taken over for his mic. Oh, yeah, so it's basically just like boot him.
On his mic? Mad things.
Wait. Who the hell is the mod of this group, man?
My other account is the mod. I can log into it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, someone has taken over. Okay, forward. Karen.
The mad still. But yeah, look, yeah, they're not winning the Champions League with Otamendi and Stones at the back. Yeah, Laporte will improve things, but I think they really messed up by not really adding anyone into that position. But one thing that they can look forward to is having Mahrez come back. Because I feel like even though Bernardo Silva didn't have the best first season, we saw how he stepped up in his second season. I think we're going to see something very similar with Mahrez this season. So he's going to have a big season this year. And on the Liverpool side of things, yeah, they came on strong in the second half because I think Man City haven't had the best preseason. So they naturally tired. But again, the same issue that they've always had in the midfield. So when they have a bit extra of the ball, they didn't really create those clear-cut chances to take them. And even the chances that they did create against Salah missed them all. And again, I'm not surprised by today's performance because I've been saying it for a long period of time. He's not a clinical finisher. He misses a lot of chances and system player, but just that. He's just a really good system player.
All right.
Special other than that. So
right.
Yeah, good game. And we'll see what happens in the season. But obviously, in terms of who's the team to be.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So basically, now this is the question that I now want to pose to the people, and the question is can Man City finally win the Champions League this season? Now, let me just get you guys up to speed. Pep is desperate for the Champions League, and he knows that this is what will define his career. Nothing else, nothing more. They know that this is what will define his career because he knows that based on how good this team is, how many records that they've broken, what will crystallize it, and this is what I believe will make Pep equal to Uncle Mo. If Pep wins the Champions League with City, he will then be able to be equal and look Uncle Mo eye to eye. At the moment, Uncle Mo is ahead of him. So Pep understands how important it is. So the question is very simple for the panel. Do you believe that this is the season that Man City finally win the Champions League, or how far do you think they will go this season? I'll start with Abdullahi.
For me, Double H, that's a no for me. That's a no for me.
Why not? They have the players, they have the money. What is the no?
It's not even about money. It's about mentality. Man City they have been flop 2017, 16, 17, 18, 19. The only way the only place they've lost is semi-final max. So I don't even trust Guardiola even going beyond semi-final because you want to tell me Laporte, Otamendi, Stones is gonna go
easy. Laporte can play. Laporte can play.
No. Those defenders, I don't trust them. Even Guardiola, I don't trust Guardiola very well because sometimes it's tactics sometimes get you frustrated a lot. So Champions League, that is the only way they could go. The max they could finish his quarterfinals. Max.
Okay, wait. Just very briefly. Wait. Whoever said Uncle Moo is a B-Tech Steve Bruce, exit yourself out of this flipping life. That is rude. Take that crap back. Okay, Abdullah, just finish off your point.
Yeah, for me, quarter-final marks because they haven't shown me that ambition of winning the Champions League. They can win Premier League 20 times. They can win FA Cup 20 times. The rest of domestic league 20 times. But that Champions League, they lack mentalities.
Okay.
You can't tell me Gabriel Jesus, Sergio Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne, all of them doesn't have the ambition of winning. It's not about spending money. You can spend billions of dollars, billions of euros. But if you lack mentalities, that's zero. For
Okay.
me,
All right.
max,
Okay.
quarterfinal.
So basically, before I go to Ahmed, let me just hit the super chat. So super chats from KO Khalid. KO Khalid with his super chats who says, better to be an underdog LFC fan. I'm not sure whether you want to be an underdog, man. I think you have to be brave. Man, just take the down baits, man. What the hell? All right, Ahmed, hit me. Man City, can they finally be Champions League winners this coming season?
I think they can. They have the ability, but I don't. But the problem is I can't see them beating a team like Juventus or beating Liverpool in the Champions League. Like I just feel like when I think about it really hard, and I think about Manchester City being in a semifinal or a quarterfinal against Juventus and Cristiano or against a Liverpool with Mane and Salah, I don't see them going through. That's the problem. Like if they win, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think they're gonna win. I think
Okay.
semifinals is where it ends.
Okay. All right. Forward.
Unless they play Juventus first. Unless they play Juventus in like the quarterfinals.
Okay.
Then semifinals.
All right. Forward. Go.
As it stands, with 3 days left in the transfer window, but they're not going to win the Champions League. Like you're not going to win it with Ottoman and Stones in the back. Yeah, they're good centre backs and they can maybe get you a league title, but a Champions League that's a step too far. Now, yeah, Laporte will improve things, but even he, like we saw how suspect he was against in the Tottenham game in the second leg. I mean, that was a shambolic performance where Son ran riot. So. Yeah, they're decent. They got a lot of players going forward. Again, Mahrez will add things going forward. Obviously, Bernardo Silva's a fantastic player, world-class player. De Bruyne obviously going to be back this season. Hopefully, he stays fit. And they're going to be a problem for any team to beat. But like, when it gets to the latter stages of the Champions League, I just don't trust that back line. They're gonna fold when the pressure really cracks. And yeah, that's what you need. We look at the teams who have won the Champions League over the last 5-10 years. They've always been pretty strong defensively, and I just don't trust Man City enough. They just don't have it in them. So
all right. Okay.
gonna win it.
Hardcore.
What's the question?
Man City, can they win the Champions League this season? Is this finally their time after spending 3 trillion over the past 3 years?
HH, you know me, man. I'm always real. You know, my YouTube channel is factual evidence. So this is the factual evidence I'm gonna give you.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Factual evidence is Man City's a 0 UCL team. They're bottlers. Some of their players are overrated and they are used to the UCL pressure. That is the problem with City. They will never, ever, ever win the UCL because, again, I always say this. They don't have the same mentality that Nottingham Forest had when they won the 2 UCLs. They don't have the same
Jesus Christ.
Aston Villa had when they won the UCL. They don't have the same mentality that Liverpool has when they win the UCL in last season. They just don't have the mentality. They don't have the juice. And I just think that Pep is, like I said, I think he's a league merchant. I think he's a domestic cup merchant. And this is who he's going to be. He just has to be real with himself, and know that, you know what? I can't win the UCL. I'm being real with myself. I'm not going to lie. I can't win the UCL. But I know I'm a league merchant. I know I can win the FA Cup. I know I can win the League Cup. That's what you got to do. Be honest with yourself.
All right. Jalen.
Why does the League Cup even exist?
For me, Man City have a 0% chance of winning the Champions League.
Okay. Wait, so Jalen, okay. Now, you say 0%. Now, my response to this is, so the people have invested billions. How do you invest the billions, but it's a 0% chance of winning the Champions League? How does that work? I'm confused.
See, they haven't spent billions on a player like Messi or Cristiano. If they had spent billions on a player like Messi or Cristiano, I would have said they would have won the Champions League. But for me, these guys are still losers in the Champions Leagues. They're worse than Spurs in the Champions League. That's a fact.
Jesus.
I think they're probably the Belgium of club football. I think they're underachievers in the Champions League. So yeah, man.
Okay. All right, Juju man.
What's it called? First of all, everyone's hating. I don't know why. The only reason this Champions League is only dependent on the league. Like if Liverpool are close, then I don't know. It's like we're not making it. And as for Juventus, I've never seen a a bunch of 35-year-olds getting this hype in my life. Like people are talking about as if Ronaldo is peak 28. He's finished. He's past his career. His life cycle in
Have some
football is
respect for
finished.
Christina. Have some
And-
respect for Christina Milian, please.
Yeah, but true. So I won't go on Juventus. I cannot wait. But what's it called? As for City, I mean it's all dependent on the league. If Liverpool are close, then like there's two focus. But if there's a wide gap, then I think the only team that City is afraid of getting maybe Barcelona. That's it because of Messi. I mean, I have to respect Messi. But aside from that, everyone. I mean, and it should be straightforward.
Oh,
And
okay. So, Judgman, you're saying that City. What chance do you have of your club winning the Champions League this season after spending all that money?
I would say 70%. And look, the worst comes to us, at least 3 trophies domestically. So not a bad
No,
thing.
Judgman. I did not talk about anything about domestic trophies. This is solely about, can this team who have spent all this money win the Champions League? Don't talk to me about an FA Cup or a Premier League. That's irrelevant. Can they win the European trophy?
With the defense, I'm not sure, but yes, they have a shot.
Okay, but you're forgetting that this season they got knocked out by Hurricane FC, and last season they got knocked out.
Wait, sorry, very briefly.
Just wait, just to reply. And you're forgetting that they were focusing on the Premier League, and that was not the 100% team. De Bruyne was not playing, Sané was not playing. Like that was half the team that was playing. It wasn't a full squad, and it took like a last minute like a last minute like the goal from an away goal to win. But that wasn't a full team.
But against Liverpool, they had a wide gap, and they lost 5-1 on aggregate. Like I'm not saying they can't win the Champions League, but I'm not gonna say it's their favorites to win it. Or the favorites.
Okay. Look. Let's move on. All right. Abdullahi, can you mute your mic because we don't want to hear like background noise.
I muted him, HH, and I made you an admin, so you can mute anyone you want.
All right, cool. All right. So Liverpool, for everybody, Man City, will they win the Champions League? Yes or no?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, can any of us really stand to see the man who ruined football drop down to his kneecaps again? I don't think anybody wants to see that. He's getting old. I don't want to see this guy crawling off his knees again. So the team is really good. I don't see why they can't. I mean, I think that should be the goal for them. And by today's showing, I know it's just one game, I would say that they're even slightly better, and that's without their full team. So, I mean, I don't see what the excuse is why they couldn't win it this season.
Oh, okay. So you think that City can win it this season?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Nish.
Okay, so there's like 2 things here. There's a tactical angle from it, and then there's a mentality angle. One thing that Juju Man said that was spot on earlier was that there's so many different variables that go into winning a Champions League. So when you're looking at it at a tactical angle, Man City, they have a very deep midfield and a proficient forward line with the likes of Sterling. You could say also Aguero. But the thing is that like their left back is persistently injured. Okay, Mendy. And on top of that, as it is, he's not good defensively, but Zinchenko is definitely a weak link. Their center back partnership, they're missing Kompany, and I think they definitely would need his leadership to win a Champions League. Like sometimes like Guardiola on a tactical like angle, he plays like a high line, which definitely doesn't help the team. It puts the center backs under a lot of pressure. And in big Champions League nights, you can see what happens to them. Like last season in the quarterfinal, like when Laporte was under pressure, like he made two mistakes, and then that cost them 2 goals. And these are the kind of margins you have to deal with when you're playing the Champions League. And from the second viewpoint, which is the mentality viewpoint, which I think is the more important viewpoint, is this, okay? This team does not have a Sergio Ramos. This team does not have a Cristiano. This team does not have a Carles Puyol. This team doesn't have the likes of a Drogba or even a Van Dijk, I would go so far to say.
Oh, Van Dijk, jeez.
Yes, dude. When this team is put under pressure,
that's an insult right there.
When somebody puts Man City in a stranglehold, who is the player who's going to step up and take the game by the scruff of the neck and turn things around? Who's the eminent leader of this squad when things go wrong for Man City? I can't point to one. The closest thing that comes to it is De Bruyne, and he's not the most charismatic. The thing is that HH, money can buy you all the talent you want. Okay, and in my opinion, PSG have an even like bigger talented squad. But one thing that money can't buy is heart, and another thing it can't buy is mentality or
Oh,
class.
okay. All right. Okay. Rahimski. Thoughts? Can City win the Champions League this season?
In my lifetime, I've only seen one team win the Champions League for the first time, and that's Porto. And they had arguably the greatest manager ever. I love Pep. I don't think he can win this club their first ever Champions League.
Wait. What about Chelsea?
Wait. Mane. Let's Rahimski
Well, I mean,
talk.
yeah, that's a good point. I did forget about Chelsea, but I mean, I'm just saying, you have to cultivate a culture in the Champions League. Chelsea have been to Champions League finals before they've won it. City have made the semifinal once. You kind of have to cultivate these things through time, and I don't think it's possible for them to do it this season. Although, as funny as it sounds, they do have the best squad in Europe, so you never know.
Okay. Mane. Can your club win the Champions League this season after spending billions?
It's only a matter of time. There's no can. It's will. We will win in the next 5 years for sure. This year.
No, Mane. I never said next 5 years. I said this upcoming season. What do you mean? What the hell by 5 years? This upcoming season, will they win the Champions League? Yes or no?
Yes, of course we will win. Listen, if it's not for dodgy refereeing decisions, we would have won this season. So I don't know what all this history or learning the game. We have the most decorated manager in Europe, the manager with the most experience in winning European Cup. Other than, well, Zidane, whatever. But the most number of trophies in a short amount of time.
Then why haven't you won the Champions League yet? Why haven't you won it yet?
It's a 7-game tournament, okay? They're more likely than not, things happen, mistakes are made by referees that could cost you, and that's how it works. But I'm saying right now we have the best squad in Europe. Who else can do it if not us? That's how we think. And all this rubbish about history and all this, you weren't you haven't a story, you have to earn your way, and all that rubbish about you have to be in the semifinal 15 times before you can reach the final, like it's some sort of video game you have to level up. Rubbish. We're gonna go straight to the final without all of that horseshit about earn your way, earn respect, it's crap. Wait until when's the final? Next 2020, the new decade. It's perfect timing actually, because that's when we intended to go to the final.
Okay.
We're well ahead of schedule, but
all
we'll
right,
definitely be there for sure.
All right, thank you. So look, basically,
HH, can we acknowledge that that Pep could do something dumb and then they lose because of that? Like his tactical management, like.
No.
It's true. Mourinho than Pep.
No.
Like, the squad can do it.
No, the ref excuse sounds better.
Okay, but look, let me just run this off before we go to the next topic. All I'm saying is this: I appreciate what Pep did last season for City. That was absolutely amazing. Winning those 3 domestic trophies, something that has never been done in England, is absolutely incredible. But ever since my good old Nigerian compatriots journalist said to Pep, do you need Messi to win a Champions League? That has been eating away at him fully all the way. Because Pep is a weirdo. He's weird. He's a bit strange. And I do think that for Pep, as much as he will try to deny it, it really bothers him that he's not been able to win the Champions League without Messi and that Barcelona team. For me, you've got everything you have in this team. You have an amazing team, amazing individuals. You have the money. You can invest. You can pretty much cherry pick whichever player that you want. There is no excuse for you not to be able to win the flipping Champions League. There is no excuse whatsoever. Now, I think that, as I said again, the favorites I believe are Juventus, Liverpool, Chelsea. Then you may bring in Barcelona and thinking, man, relax, chill, don't take the bait.
Juventus.
Are you joking? Can I land? Can I land? Thank you. So, before I was rudely interrupted, Juventus, Liverpool, Chelsea, then Barcelona, and then you may be rolling Man City. So Man City are officially like about 5th favorites for this whole thing. So, but whether they're 5th, 6th, or 7th favorites, you have to deliver the CL. Whether it's this season, next season, if Pep leaves Man City without winning the Champions League, that will haunt him. And I'm sorry, your tenure would have been a failure. So with that, we will.
Wait, Double H.
Oh Lord
I
in
have to
heaven!
explain. You say Juventus because I'm trying to figure out why everyone's saying Juventus.
And Chelsea. And Chelsea. Are you
Okay,
joking?
wait.
Juventus.
Wait, chill. Wait, guys, chill. We will get there. Let me just round off this topic and we'll get there. So we've rounded that off. Pep, you better win this CL. If you don't, then you're screwed. So with that topic, I will then be able to answer your guys' views very now, man. Don't worry, guys. It's very easy. It's very simple, man. Don't worry. It's very easy. It's very simple. So as you were saying, Mr. Jujuman, so you said that why have I picked Juventus?
Yes, it's like everyone is picking Juventus, and I don't find any reason why. Like, what's the reason? I want to hear the reason.
The addition of Rabiot and Ramsey and De Ligt improves upon a team that should have beaten Ajax. Now, who knows what would have happened if they had gone... No, yeah. If they'd beaten Ajax, they would have beaten Tottenham in that semi. So for me, I just feel that... Easy, man. Let me land. The hell, let me land. So I just feel that based off what Cristiano did and the kind of goal-scoring freak that guy was... Remember, that guy scored in both legs. I still think that Cristiano can still ball. And he will still get you G's. So the fact of the matter where you've added in a Ramsey, you've added in a flipping De Ligt, you've added in a flipping Rabiot. Now, if you bring in a Lukaku, that's another striking talent. And also Sarri as well. Sarri, I feel, is a much more imaginative, creative manager and coach than Allegri. So, Juju, man, let me talk, man. Please, don't. Jesus. So, I just feel, with that being said, I just feel that I have to, because basically there's nobody else I can put. Basically, for me, if you put Liverpool ahead of Juventus, I wouldn't complain. I ain't putting Real Madrid ahead of them. I ain't putting those clowns PSG. I'm not putting Atletico Madrid ahead of them. So who else apart from Liverpool should I put ahead of Juventus to be the favorites?
Wait, I think a lot of teams are ahead.
Excuse me?
But the one thing, a lot of teams are ahead of Juventus because you say they should have beaten Ajax, but I saw that second half. Ajax were way better than Juventus. This Juventus midfield this team is just a bunch of average players, and they get this hype because Ronaldo is there and he has a good PR. So they're favorites all of a sudden. And it's like, what is it? What I understand Double H, you said Ronaldo scores in crucial games, but statistically, people like stats. Like his fans like stats. Like he was nowhere in Europe to be seen. Like his numbers are not that impressive. So people say like his numbers are not that impressive. Wait, but
bro, Judgment, you're drunk. Stop hating.
The man, the legend.
I had check against Atletico, but where was he in Europe? Because Messi had like 50. Where was he? Like, how many goals did Ronaldo have, by the way? 20 something?
Jujuman, how can you disrespect?
No, he was good. He's not good anymore.
Jujuman.
We can't just say, because he was good for
Jujuman,
10 years,
can I respond?
He's good forever.
Jujuman.
He's not good anymore. Like, people acting as if like, we're expecting another 50 goal season from Ronaldo. He'll be lucky to get 30. Like, we just it's hype. I don't know why people are putting Juventus, rating Juventus this highly, and it's like these players are rejects from other clubs, and they're also old. Some of them, in terms of football age, they're old, and it's like I don't know why all this hype, like favorites how, like, I don't understand.
Okay.
Why don't you talk about Chelsea? Why did you say Chelsea? That's the more egregious crime.
Like, just chill. Let me answer this super chat and then I'll respond to Juju man. So Young One, thank you very much for your $5 super chat. So Young One says, Juju, you're just a hater. Man City will never even sniff a CL, let alone 5. Well, Juju man, don't hate.
I don't care. Wait, I don't care about like Man City though.
No, Juju man, let me respond. Juju man, let me respond.
It's just everywhere.
Juju man, let me respond to you. A man that gave you a clutch hat trick against Atletico and scored in both legs against Ajax. I'm not sleeping on that dude. It's not about whether he scored 30 or 40 goals. It's scoring key goals when your team needs you. A guy who does that, I'm sorry, whether you like it or not, Juve are one of the favorites based on Sarri coming in there and the players that they've bought. Whether you like it or not, a 34-year-old, 35-year-old Cristiano is still scoring more goals than most overrated bombs in this whole thing. So we're moving on. We're moving on. So I want to talk about this boy right now. El Sancho. So the question here is this. The question here is this to the panel right now, and this is the question that I want to now roll with. Can Sancho become a future Ballon d'Or winner? Or are we just getting a bit too overhyped with him? How good can this guy potentially be? We all know that Sancho single-handedly lubricated Bayern Munich, beat them down, and there's been a lot of excitement about him. I don't care about a guy called Philip Foden. Sorry, okay, but please chill. This dude, I've got my eye on this dude. I don't want to overhype him. I don't want to overpraise him. The prodigy is still that dude. Second to the prodigy is the Oos. The prodigy and the Oos are still the two young starlets, and then I'll probably bring in Leroy Sané as the number 3 starlets in the world right now. But Sancho, look, man, the guy's tight. He tight. So let's go right down. So let's start off first with A1. So A1, how do you think Sancho can become a future Ballon d'Or winner?
Well, he has to become the main guy in Dortmund, because I don't see him as the main guy. I still see him as one of the main people, but he actually has to become the main guy in Dortmund, if you get what I'm saying. Because if Sancho's not there, Dortmund can still rely on maybe Hazard, Torgan Hazard. You can rely on Royce. You can rely on Brandt. But if Sancho steps up with goals and assists and becomes the main guy for Dortmund, and possibly moves to a bigger club, then yeah, he can become Ballon d'Or. But right now, he's not the main guy for Dortmund. He's one of the main people, but he has to become the main guy for Dortmund for him to become a Ballon d'Or person.
Okay, all right. So let me just hit the super chat. So super chats from Ricky Rick says Juju is right. Juve only gets hype because of Ronaldo.
Yep.
Well,
it's true.
Easy. Chill.
Facts.
Okay. Abdullahi. Jadon Sancho. Do you think he could become world class in the future?
Yeah, it's possible to become world class, but I would love him to leave Borussia Dortmund and go to like a big club. Like maybe let him go to PSG. Let him go to maybe like a big club.
PSG are not a big club, Abdullahi. They play in Uber Eats. Abdullahi, they play in Uber Eats.
Yeah, I know. But he's a very good player in Dortmund. But he needs to go to like a big club that is gonna be the main man in that club. The main man. He's gonna be showing domestically and Europe. Then we cannot discuss. Right now, he's working his way towards the Ballon d'Or in the future. He's working there. But I want to see him in a big club. Just go to a big club and show. And be that main man. Be that and carry that team from the domestic league to the Euro. Carry them. And if he carries that team and win the Champions League, then we can be like him. I think this man deserves it.
But look, Abdullahi, how can you put that pressure on such a young kid, man? Not many young dudes can carry an entire team. This dude is like what? I think he's like 19 or 20. Come on, man.
He's 19.
Thank you. Look, the prodigy is different. Prodigy is different. There were not many 19-year-olds like the prodigy. How many of your goats at 19 scored in a World Cup final? Thank you. So yeah, there are not many dudes like the prodigy. He's man, can you just chill? Just chill, relax. So yeah, but look, okay, let's move on. So Ahmed, guys, now please keep it brief, guys. Keep it brief because we have a lot of topics to get through. Keep it very brief. So Ahmed, keep it brief. Sancho, can he become world class in the future?
He can, and I think what he has to do is he has to have a really, really good season with Dortmund to get that big move somewhere. Like potentially, like this season, if he wins the Bundesliga, or next season with Dortmund, and he does that amazing run with Dortmund in the league, and he does okay in the Champions League, and he goes to a bigger club, or Dortmund become a bigger club, then he definitely be a contender for the Ballon d'Or.
Okay.
And does well for the English national team.
All right, forward.
Yeah, obviously the talent is definitely there. I mean, if the question is can he become world class, I think there's no doubt about it, he will become a world class player. But to say Ballon d'Or, I mean, it's way too early to be talking about that talk. And he's only 19. And although I've followed him for quite a few years of his youth career, both at Man City and with Watford, again, most people only known about him the last 8 to 12 months. And he can now be a Ballon d'Or winner is a bit early. But yeah, the talent's definitely there. It's all about how he directs his career. So certainly the right moves will help him to be able to do that. United, especially if he went there this season, it would have been a horrible mistake. But yeah, he can still spend another year or maybe even 2 at Dortmund. Obviously, build up his own confidence in his abilities. Maybe even win a Bundesliga there and cement himself as a legend at Dortmund before moving on to one of the elite clubs in Europe where he can win a Ballon d'Or. Because you're not going to win it at Dortmund. You're definitely not going to win it at PSG when you're playing against farmers every week. So yeah, he's still got to build on his craft, and I think within time he can be in that discussion. But to say he can win a Ballon d'Or is difficult because there's a lot of top quality young players in football right now. You've got Mbappe, you got João Felix doing bits that Atletico will probably do this season. You've obviously got Hudson. You got a lot of
You can't call people in the league on farmers. They're probably Uber drivers. Come on.
Easy, man. Come on. Okay. So, okay, foul. Round off, and then I can go. Round off.
Forward new mic, yeah.
Forward, round off.
The point of the matter is, is we're gonna see in time minutes. Just give him time. There's no need to talk about Ballon d'Ors when the man's only 19. So
okay,
we'll see.
Hardcore. Going once, going twice. All right, Jalen. Sancho.
Yeah. Look, I'm very impressed with Sancho. I think we can all agree right now that he's a tier 2 player. I think if he goes to Liverpool or Man City, I think he can become tier 1. And I can see him, Mbappe.
Wait, easy. Wait, Abdullah, we have to let him talk. Let's let Jalen. We can't have guys talking at the same time. So, Jalen, continue.
Yeah, I can see him, Ousmane Dembele, and Mbappe becoming the future Ballon d'Or contenders.
Okay. Hardcore. All right, Juju man.
Hello.
Okay, hardcore. Man, hardcore. Be quick, man. What the hell? Talk.
Sorry. No, it's my call it? Like my sister and my mom. Like.
Okay. Hardcore. I don't need to know about your family history. Just talk, please. Just talk. Okay. You don't need to reveal any details.
Nah, it's too much truth, yo. Like it's crazy, yo.
Anyways, the hell? Okay, Sancho.
Sancho, right? Okay. Yeah, Sancho is a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a quality player. I still feel like.
Can he become a future Ballon d'Or winner? Yes or no?
I don't know, man. To be honest, that's I'm not sure question, yo. To be honest, I'm really not sure. Cause I think he can. Like he has the potential to, but I don't think. At the same time, too, I think he can't because. He's not playing for like a big team. You get what I'm saying? I mean, yes, Dortmund, according to UCL, they're one of the big teams, but he has to go to Real Madrid or like one of these big teams that like are really well known. You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
In order to get the Ballon d'Or, and
okay.
I don't see it with Dortmund. I'm sorry.
All right, Jalen.
You already came to me, man.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Juju man.
I am with Jadon Sancho. I mean, he's decent, but raw. He's raw, and the one thing is Ballon d'Or. I mean, let's try for the German Player of the Year. That's the thing. The first step before we talk about Ballon d'Or. And as for Ballon d'Or, like I don't know how you can beat Mbappe. Like Mbappe's stat pads in that French league, so it's a tough competition. And with Jadon, I mean, he's good. He's decent.
So, okay, so you're saying Sancho can't be as good as Mbappe? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, like I think Jadon Sancho's limit is probably Dortmund. That's his limit.
That's
Dortmund are a good team.
That's rude.
They're a good team. They're a good team.
So you're saying that Dortmund is his limit. He can't ball for a Real Madrid or a Barcelona.
Well, not everyone goes to Real Madrid.
Well, Benzema goes. So there you go.
No, but I don't think so. To be honest, I don't think Jadon Sancho is still young and raw. So he has to play a couple of years at Dortmund, and then I think the best he can do is maybe United, Chelsea, that EPLs, but I don't see Madrid. You just have
No,
taken another level.
basically, if this dude that you see here can be the starting striker for Real Madrid, then anybody can be a starting striker of Real Madrid. So if this dude right here and people in the live chat can see who this dude is, if this dude can be the starting striker of Real Madrid, then Jadon Sancho can sure as hell be the starting dude there as well. So and that's just my view there. So let's move on then to Liverpool v everybody, man. Thoughts? Can Sancho be that dude?
Yeah, he can. It's still early, and just to be honest on that Bayern game, this is one of the worst Bayern teams I've ever seen in my life.
Facts.
I give him credit for what he did, but I mean Stevie Wonder can see how bad they are. We Stevie Wonder can't see. So that's just that. I mean they're a terrible team. I saw that when they played Liverpool in the Champions League. They're awful. But the dude is good. He's not on Sané's level just yet though. But the guy can play, and I think if he stays fit and plays throughout the season, plays well. I mean, who knows? A1 talked about the main man, and for me, the game against Bayern, he's definitely putting his name in the hat to be the main man because Hazard, Brandt, nah. Royce can't stay fit, nah. So I think he is.
Well, he stayed fit last season, Royce.
Who?
Royce. He wasn't like fully injured
No, he
like
didn't.
he usually
Wasn't
is.
he out for the UCL? Like the first UCL leg against Tottenham?
My point
Yeah,
is.
that's one game. That's a couple games, isn't it? But he's still. All right, cool.
Okay.
Speak.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, can we really count on him to be fit? I don't think we can. So I think Sancho definitely is trying to be in the running to be that man. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Nish, be brief. Nish.
Yes. So in a nutshell, Ford is right. It's too early to judge on Sancho, but I definitely like what I see. For me, it's like a couple things. So one is that he needs to, like everybody said, become the prominent player in a team. Okay, and like we all know for Ballon d'Or, you have to win the Champions League. Presumably, he also has to win silverware with England. And on top of that, like another thing is that he has to become popular. So popularity is a big thing in the Ballon d'Or vote because the voters for the award are journalists. So you have to be like very very well known amongst the press in order to win the Ballon d'Or. It's an open secret. So yeah, and to do that, I think he has to like come to a bigger club. And yeah, dude, I mean, I would definitely start him at Real Madrid over our current left winger who has the physique of an alcoholic truck driver. So yeah.
Whoa, easy. All right. Okay. Rahimski.
Oh man, what can I say that hasn't been said? I mean, I love Sancho. I think he's a good player. I just don't see what everyone else sees in him. I guess because I see a lot of his limits. And I feel like a lot of
No, it's true. Let him talk. Wait,
let's Ramsky talk.
Okay, I'll give you some pros and cons with Sancho. So, pros for his age, he's fearless, which you need in a winger because he's not scared of defenders. I love that in a player. He's quick. He's very intelligent on the ball. Like he's got good intellect for his age. He knows when to pass. He knows when to go forward. The problem with Sancho is just his age shows because of his inconsistencies.
He's raw.
I mean, if you look at his numbers, sure, he put up some pretty good numbers last year, but like some other people alluded to in this chat, he wasn't the standout, definitive best player in the Bundesliga, which I kind of need from a Ballon d'Or candidate.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's still very young. I think HH's question was, can he be? And the question is, the answer is, of course he can be. It's just a matter of if he'll get there. And the problem with being an English player and being in England, which he's not, but I'll get back to that. The problem with being an English player in England is the hype, and sometimes that can be a little detrimental. But if he's a player that's outside of England, then maybe there's a little bit less hype to go with, and I feel like that'll keep him level-headed. So I think the best place for him is stay at Dortmund, keep doing what you're doing, maybe win a Bundesliga Player of the Year, and then we can talk.
All right, Mane, round us off.
I mean, first of all, to become best player in the world, you have to be best player in your country, and he's never going to be better than Harry Kane is. That's number one. Number two,
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
Harry Kane is the best striker in the world and has the highest goals per game ratio in Premier League history. As well as that, is the truth. He will be top scorer in Premier League history when he's done. Another thing as well, and he'll win Ballon d'Or in his career. Another thing as
Can we
well,
stay on topic, bro?
he's nowhere near as good as Raheem Sterling, Dele Alli, and the rest of them. So, and first of all,
Deli Ali,
he has to,
Deli
he
Ali,
has
Mr.
to,
Deli
he
Ali.
has,
My
So
you have to
so so
establish,
so
you
Manny,
have
you
to,
just mentioned both Harry Kane and Dele Alli, and you both vouch
yes,
for those guys.
Man got issues,
yes.
fam.
Kane's
Interesting.
cool, but
Interesting.
Deli
Yeah.
Ali.
Okay,
Those
no,
are just
Karen,
the
Karen,
ones I'm
Karen.
thinking of right now. There's so many other names I can name.
Drink water, yeah?
It's a
Go on,
wealth of players
name
better
them,
than him.
name
Just
them,
because
name
he's
them,
young doesn't mean he's better because
name
he's
them,
young.
name them,
But
name them.
another
But he
thing,
has
let me
the
just
potential.
finish.
Wait.
Let me just finish my
Let Manny finish.
let me finish my point. So you have to first of all establish yourself in the England squad, and he hasn't done that. He's not one of
Yeah, he
the main
has.
players.
Yeah, but
No, he
he
has.
Yeah,
started,
Wait,
bro.
wait, 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 wait,
What
guys.
tournaments has
Guys,
he
come on.
played at?
Let
What
Manny
tournaments has he
finish.
played at? Zero. Okay, zero tournaments. He's only playing friendlies and all that.
He's a
He's
starter,
not the
mate.
best. He's
He's
not
a
the best
starter.
player in
He's a
England,
starter.
and
He's a
he
starter.
plays. He's an Englishman playing abroad, which means you're a reject. That's what it means. You can't be one of the best England players and voluntarily go there, especially to Dortmund. If it was Real Madrid or something like that, like Michael Owen, understandable. But to Dortmund, he's basically a youth player in
You don't know what you're
transition,
talking about.
trying to
You don't know what
trying
you're
to
talking
make
about.
his name to come back to the Premier League, where he can finally prove himself to be capable of playing at that level. Ballon d'Or, gee, I mean, have some shame in even that question. He's nowhere near Ballon d'Or. He has to first of all make it back to the Premier League, establish himself, and then make it in England to
Okay.
become
All
at
right.
least the third best player there, and
Okay.
then
So
he can think
okay.
about even.
Okay. So basically, just to
He
round this
doesn't know what
off.
he's talking about.
Wait. Okay. Let's because look, we are done. So just to round off this topic, and then before we move on to the other topic, for me, I believe that it's a bit too early to talk about whether he can. I think he has the potential to, but I wouldn't put my money on it. I just feel that the prodigy, the Oos, and your boy Leroy are a bit more, are much more further ahead of him. But 100%, I don't know what drugs Mane is sniffing. You
Who
can
is
still.
He said he doesn't start for
Sancho.
England.
Wait, can I land? Let me land.
But
Let me land.
Sancho started for the semifinals.
So basically, I still feel that there is no question why you don't have to play in the Premier League to be able to consider a world class, one of the best in the world. You can, if Jadon Sancho balls in the Champions League in Europe for Dortmund and takes them far, and he balls in the Bundesliga, so he balls in the Bundesliga and takes Dortmund to a semi or a final, being one of the best players in Europe. Then my God, he is in that final five, final
but
six,
that's
potential
never
final
happened,
three.
though.
So,
That-
but no, but I know,
and
but look, all I'm saying is that
if
And
No,
not,
no,
to
but
mention,
okay,
not,
but
not
look,
to mention, any player can play well in the Bundesliga. It's the worst league, even worse than
It's
the Liga.
exactly
okay, but look, guys, chill.
Who is this
We're
guy?
moving on.
This guy
Look,
comes
man,
in, man.
chill. We're moving on. That is just the end of that topic there, and then we can then move in. Then let's just have a silly because we will be arguing with this forever. Let's just hope that Sancho can be able to do what he can. So, moving on to our next topic right now, and it's an interesting one. It involves a microphone. Yes, it involves a central bank microphone, and I think Hardcore definitely wants to get in on this right now. So your boy took the mic. Your boy took that damn mic. So where's he at? Now let's just try and be clear here, and let's not try and be merchants here. No, Hardcore. I know you're there. Now, Hardcore, do you know what was said exactly by Messi when he grabbed the mic? Because when I saw that he grabbed the mic, I got scared. I was like, please don't tell me you said the same thing. But he didn't say the same thing exactly. So, Hardcore, what exactly did Messi say when he grabbed the mic?
Okay, so basically, from my interpretation, and me researching what he said on the mic today,
Research.
again questioning the
Jesus Christ.
alleged Gamper trophy that they always host yearly. Um, I think what I've been, especially, I think what I've been hearing is in his English translation, he says he contradicts himself basically. So basically, he starts off by saying, as a club, we should value every trophy that we win. You know, I'm trying to. I mean, no, every trophy that we have achieved, and then like I think like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes later, he talks about we're gonna try to challenge for every trophy this season, same as we did last season. You know what I'm trying to say? And I think that's a big contradiction, HH. I think for him, I think he's not understand that, the problem with Messi is he doesn't understand that, what, I'm a league merchant. I'm a football merchant. I can win the
Look at this
league,
guy. Look at
I
this
can win
guy.
domestic cups,
My
but I can't
gosh.
win the UCL. And I think that is what I've been studying for Messi is he's scared to admit the fact that, I just can't win the UCL,
And not to
and
mention, he said that he's happy he won 8 La Ligas in 11 years, which no one gives a damn about. So
Wait,
I
is
yes,
that
exactly.
FG?
yeah,
who do
Oh
you think
god,
it
gosh,
was?
I
Who do you
I
think
knew
it
I
was?
recognized that flipping voice, man. Okay,
Yes.
hard,
Yeah.
go finish
So
your point.
okay, so personally, what I'm seeing is if you compare this speech that he made this season compared to last season, I think last season he said will and promise. This season he's saying value, and basically the other word is um
try.
yeah, well, not really try, is challenge for everything. Actually, no, every is the word. Every is the word. That's the question. Because this year he's contradicting with every and what's gonna call it, value, So to be honest, this is what I'm gonna say.
SEO.
I think he's a clown now. The way the way
Chill, chill,
he's talking like
Wait,
a
chill.
clown.
Okay,
wait,
okay,
did
okay, okay, Hardcore, you've had your take, but look, here is my take here, and then I'll do read some super chats, then move on to the next topic. My take here is this: that
Wait. I can go after you, Double H,
oh,
please.
oh,
We
oh
got a lot
god,
to
oh
say.
lord.
Let's
Okay,
go.
okay, okay, okay. Look. Let me. So my thing about this is that I believe that he. The key word is that he said he doesn't regret what he said. And for me, like,
Exactly.
100%, like,
Yes.
I
Me
think
that
that's.
too.
Wait, I don't know how to chill. He said he doesn't regret what he said. And for me, I think that's cool because let's break it down. And hardcore, I think, hardcore, we've had a lot of fun with the whole Liesi thing and everything. But I think it's time for us to really break it down and actually be fully honest as to what this is. I looked at Van Dijk today, and you know what? Maybe Messi does deserve to win that Ballon d'Or.
wait,
He
Because
calm down.
does.
can I wait?
Relax.
Can I land? Can I land? Can I land? Can I land?
Land.
Can I land?
Yeah,
Can I land? Can I
Oh
land?
shoot.
Can I land?
one friendly
Can I
game.
land?
Finally,
Let,
Can I
Double H.
land?
Whew.
Can I
let him.
can I land?
Who's
Seriously,
paying
you
you,
guys are
kid?
too hyper. You guys are too
Who's
hyper.
paying
Can
you?
I land? Thank you. Thank you.
Land.
Let him.
Jeez. Because let's be fully real here. Look, when I just first of all, he said he doesn't regret what he said. And let's be real. Messi did all that he could last season.
Facts.
Individually, he did his work.
Yep.
Anybody that understands football is a one man cannot literally win you a trophy. You
I've seen
need
Ronaldo done it before, man.
No,
I've
no, no,
seen
yeah.
him done it.
you,
he's
okay.
doing
Look,
that.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
start meeting guys. Come on, guys. Let's just be real here. Don't disturb me. Let me just talk, and then I will give you the platform. If we talk over each other, nobody will be able to hear each other. We have to give the audience a good listening experience. So let's just let people talk, so the audience can listen to what is being said. So,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
all right. So basically, actually, I'm hearing some feedback from you, so I'm just gonna just mute you, and then I will then unmute you because I'm hearing some feedback. So look, my thing is this: is that Messi did his bit. So when Messi said, I want to deliver this for you, and I believe we're going to bring back this Champions League, Messi did his bit. Individually, he was insane. And as I'm looking at Van Dijk today and everything, I've got to take a step back and say, I'm still saying Van Dijk is a top defender. He's one of the best defenders out there. But as I've been thinking about this, as an individual for performance, because Van Dijk had a great team. Messi's team had that long shot merchant called Coutinho, and that
I'm
clan
disappointed in
called the
Double H.
Cannibal, who could only give you one goal in the Champions League. So Messi as an individual I believe, achieved more as an individual than anybody in the world last season, club-wise. Because I watched those Barcelona games, and I watched what this guy did. This guy was literally a one-man machine engine. So I don't understand why. So when people say, "Oh, he lied," like he didn't lie. He didn't lie. You see, he would be a liar if he said, "Oh, we're gonna bring this back to you," and he was a brick and he was crap. But he was superb. He was amazing, and he was on the cusp of almost individually carrying these guys to a flipping Champions League trophy. So I just think that, you know what, we have to really rethink this whole Ballon d'Or situation, this whole Mike situation, and look closely as what did Messi do as an individual, and the key thing is that did he get enough support from his people? That's the key thing. So let me just get the super chats and I will let you guys respond. Let me just get the super chat. So super chat from Abdul Shaks, who says, why is Barcelona considered a favourite given their recent history? This Man City squad can win a Champions League, but Guardiola is not the guy. His pride will get in the way. Well, for me, I think that anything that has Messi...
You're not a guy.
Wait. Any team that has Messi will always be a favourite. And this City squad, yeah, they can win a Champions League, but Guardiola, trust me, Guardiola is the guy. And if Pep... People keep saying that Pep is one of the best managers in the world, so therefore he's the guy based on what he has done. So based on the records that you've broken, you should be the guy to lead them to a Champions League. Silver Spring says, FIFA best 10 players. It's probably going to take us a bit of time, so maybe we can do that maybe towards the end. We can't really do it now, but we'll keep that in mind. Martin Rosario, preach, hardcore, preach. So hardcore, you've got a fan in Mr. Martin. Ricky Rick says, hardcore is a butt hot plastic fan talking crap. Interesting. Martin Rosario says, you give Laessi that Ballon d'Or, you're only furthering the 10 plus year false narrative that he was the best of his generation. It's all a facade. Stop the BS. Yeah. And Silver Spring, all I hear is excuses for Messi. So, Jujuman, you said you wanted to respond.
Yes. I was about to say, I don't understand how. I think Messi, clearly, I agree with your point. He was the best player last year, and it wasn't even close. And like I said months ago, by December, it will be so clear. No, we won't have this debate. And with the speech today, I liked how he took the microphone again, and he said he's like, this is like, they have standards in Barcelona, and he said that they're going for all the trophies. So I saw they're the best player in the world. The way he carries himself, the way he talks to he takes full responsibility of every result. I mean, and also he did well. He performed really well. No one because people like stats. Like no one was close to him. So this Ballon d'Or, he fully deserves it. It's not even a conversation. He fully deserves it.
Let me go after Juju.
Okay, all right, FG. All right, FG.
Here we go.
Okay, first of all, the mic thing. First of all, I need this dude is. I think he might be the most embarrassing player I've seen in my entire life. The fact that he picked the mic again, he should.
He's a captain. That's what the captain's doing.
He should have been a man enough. He should have been a man enough and said the same thing what he said last year. This time he just said, "Oh, we'll try to win everything we can," like every other team would say. Secondly, we're talking about best individual season. I'm sorry, but Van Dijk is the reason why Liverpool got 97 points. Did Messi get Barcelona 97 points last season? No, he didn't.
But he won the league.
Did Messi
got them a league cup?
Did Messi win a Champions League?
Yeah.
Did Messi win a Champions League?
No, he didn't. No, he.
Okay. Wait.
Not to mention, you said he has Van Dijk's in a better team. I'm sorry, but last time I checked, that Barca team is the most expensive team in history. That's the most assembled team. That team got 160 million players.
Okay. I'll get back to some people. Let me just read this super chat and then I'll get back to you. So, from the Chose One, he says, imagine Sancho under Klopp. That would be flipping amazing. Also, Mane is a gay boy. Look, we don't need any of these homophobic statements here, man. And look, man, let's come on. That'll come on. Why do you do that? That's below the belt. We don't need that. But yeah, Sancho under Klopp would be flipping amazing.
Who said that?
That'll be.
Who said that?
It's called. Man, don't worry. I will protect you. I will protect you. I protect all of my hangouts members, man.
Tell him your mom's a hoe.
Whoa.
Tell him that.
Guys, let's be civil here. Okay, let me just do a female super chat. So, Ricky Rick says, tell me one player that has won the Champions League by himself. Nobody, but Messi was close to. Messi would have won the Champions League by himself if Barcelona won it last season.
That's
And Young One with the $5 super chat says, Laessi always gets excuses for Barcelona and Argentina. Constantly scoring against Hispanic dishwashers like Huesca.
With disrespect on the GOAT.
This is just disrespectful. By the
Wasn't
way,
Ronaldo doing the same thing? Ronaldo was doing the same thing.
People need to respect. They need to respect. No, they need to respect Messi.
You guys, that's
need to
messed up.
respect Messi. Like this is disrespectful.
Hispanic. Oh, but look, man, I didn't say. Look, YouTube, people of the Hispanic community, I didn't say that. I'm just reading out a flipping super chat here. Okay, this dude called Young One points your anger towards him, not me. So I didn't say Hispanic dishwashers. Young One did. Wow, Huesca. Actually, has anybody actually been to Huesca before?
No. Okay, Huesca is getting.
Barcelona
Okay,
8-2.
but Huesca gets way too much disrespect. They didn't even finish bottom of the table in La Liga. It wasn't even them who finished bottom of La Liga, and they had more points than some of the teams in Serie A.
Okay, look. Let's move on. Because we have to move on to our next topic now. And this next topic is an interesting one, man. Because this next topic introduces us to one of my dear friends. And we all know who it is. It's everyone's favorite guy, the guy that we all love. Your boy Ney. Your boy Ney flipping Mar, man. Your boy flipping Ney flipping Mar. So, what is the point of a loan? I don't want to just throw it at the door. I will give you guys the opportunity to talk. So, what we are now hearing is Barcelona are now looking to loan Neymar. Sorry. PSG are looking to loan Neymar to Barcelona. Why? What's the point? How does that work? Why would they do that?
Wait,
what the hell?
From whose perspective? though?
No. As in, like,
for Barcelona.
Both guys.
Wait. No. Chill. I'll give you guys. I'll give you the floor. Let me just give my thoughts, and I will give you guys the floor. From my view is, from PSG's point of view, if you're loaning him, does that mean that you still want to get him back? That's my thing. And from Barcelona's point of view, aren't you trying to plan for when Messi leaves, of when he retires? Because the plan was always, when they first initially got to Neymar, the plan was always, Neymar is going to take over Messi. Neymar is going to be the guy that will pretty much take up the mantle once Messi now moves on. But if you're only getting him for a loan, then it's like, what? That makes no sense. So let me give it to the floor. So A1, loan, good idea, bad idea. What's your view on PSG loaning Neymar to Barcelona?
Well, if Barcelona can't buy Neymar right now with the money, loan's a good deal for them as well. I'm pretty sure they'll put in their loan to buy as well. And with PSG as well, I think PSG has just had enough of him. Considering yesterday with the whole celebration and stuff, he felt awkward. Sometimes he's in the picture, sometimes getting pushed out. He clearly doesn't want to be there, innit? And it will be embarrassing for PSG if Neymar's still there when the transfer window shuts. And it's like, you clearly got a player who's world class, is clearly unhappy, and you're just there at PSG and he's not playing. So a loan deal for both clubs will be good for them.
All right. Abdullahi.
For me, I don't think a loan should be an issue because, firstly, why did Barca want to buy Neymar back? You guys sold him to PSG, and you want to.
Abdullahi, they need him. You Coutinho is crap. Cannibal is garbage, so they need him.
Okay, they need Neymar, right? But what is the assurance that when they get Neymar, he's not gonna get injured by February or March?
There
What's
we
gonna
go.
be the assurance?
There we go.
So what's gonna be the assurance? I'm gonna pay that kind of huge money for Neymar, and it comes to quarterfinals, round of 16, and they get injured out of the season. So the money I spent has already gone out of the water. That's gonna be an issue. And I think I had yesterday Leonardo talking about. I had Baka having a conversation with PSG about getting Neymar. Hey, if PSG are wise, they should tell Baka, give me Dembele, give me Coutinho,
Yes.
then get Neymar.
No, not continue. Keep continue. Get Us.
Yeah,
Yes.
give me Dembele, give me Coutinho, and give me just like 90 and get Neymar. I'm done
Wow.
with it. Because Leonardo said, I want Neymar situation to be resolved by August the 9th. Once it's August the 11th, if Neymar is not resolved, he's not leaving PSG. He said it publicly. I want his situation to be resolved by August the 9th. That's next week, Wednesday. He wants it resolved ASAP.
Okay, all right.
So if it's not resolved, he said Neymar is not going nowhere. So Baka they have to gather money. I don't know where they're gonna get it. Maybe they're gonna borrow the money, loan the money. I have no idea. They just want to get Neymar. I don't know. It's their choice. I don't think it's a wise idea, dude. I don't think so.
All right. So, okay, now before we go to Ahmed, you know what? I have to be wise here. Like as I said again, if you put in a super chat, I will read out your super chats. But if your super chat crosses the line too much, I'm gonna have to just say no to the super chats. But this is definitely being dicey. Mane, I think you have an enemy. So the chose one with a £2 super chat says Nottingham Forest are greater than City. And he also says that a local crackhead is greater than your mom, than Mane's mom. So
listen, young one. I have a question for young one. Is your mom still cheating on me?
Oh my god.
That's the best you got.
You see, this is just very dark water. Let's get back to football. Let's get back to football. All right. So Ahmed, loan deal. What's the point? Should Barcelona go for the loan deal or should they go for the straight to buy?
For PSG, they shouldn't do it because you have Neymar. Either get money, a lot of money, because they can milk that. They can milk the value for Neymar, or get the players because money isn't a problem for PSG. They have all that oil money, but they can just what they have to do is just get like Dembele or other players from Barcelona because they need more players. They don't need the money, and if Barca isn't willing to do that, they can just sit Neymar on the bench the whole season. Because if Barcelona can't afford him and they aren't willing to give players to get Neymar, PSG shouldn't get rid of him for a season. Because think about it, Barcelona would be a lot better with Neymar, and PSG wouldn't be able to benefit from him. So it's a really bad deal for PSG's perspective if they give him out on loan to Barcelona.
Okay. FG. Okay.
You didn't call his name properly. His name's LG.
All right.
Wait. Yeah.
Now he responds. See?
Okay, LG then. Talk.
He responded.
Look,
Wait,
LG,
okay.
FG, MG, just talk, bro.
Yeah. For I think Barcelona. The loan deal is perfect. I mean, they don't have to pay any money, and then they can just buy him next season. So it's a good fit. It's a good thing for Barca. PSG, I don't know. I think they should never sell. I think they should never make a deal with Barca ever again, considering that's a criminal, corrupt club. So I think they should do with Neymar. I think they should do a swap deal with Juventus, Neymar and Dybala. Win-win for both teams. So that's what PSG should do. Get Dybala for Neymar.
That'll be the biggest heist of all time.
Alco, did you call? I mean, HH, did you call me? Sorry.
No. So Ford.
Yeah, I agree with everything that A1 said already. There isn't really much to add. Like again, there's no idea that they're gonna do a loan and then he's gonna go straight back to PSG again. We've seen in the modern era, whenever somebody has a loan at this kind of level of the game, they always end up going to that team the year after. It's just to facilitate enough money for the moves. Whether it's been Mbappe to PSG or Kovacic or Morata or anybody's gone on loan, they're gonna complete the move the next year. So the only thing from PSG's point of view is they need to somehow find a way to get something in return. So whether they can then in that loan deal also get a swap and then get Titi in or get Dembele, and then I think they would definitely go for that. Not Coutinho. Coutinho needs to stay put in Barcelona. He stay put on that bench. But definitely, PSG definitely need to good for the dressing room morale. And make Mbappe the main man of that dressing room and then push it behind him, because they're not going to be doing anything serious if they're going to have Neymar holding bench, or then maybe playing a couple games here or there in the Champions League, because that's not good for the squad morale. And if you're going to win the Champions League, which is what their aim is to be, then you're not going to be doing it with all of that drama going on in the background.
Okay. Hardcore. Jalen.
Yeah, the loan deal is the only option for Barcelona right now because they can't afford him. And I think if Neymar comes to Barcelona, Barcelona definitely has to be considered the number 1 Champions League favorite.
Wow. Okay.
And,
No.
for
Okay.
PSG,
But Jalen, let me ask you this: how confident are you that, Jalen? So how confident are you that Neymar will be fit for the entire season then?
that's a good question, but I think at Barcelona, they definitely restricted him from going out late and staying up late and
the
things like
doctors
that.
too, man.
Hey,
What?
FG, don't go there. Come on, don't go there. Jalen, continue.
Yeah, and at Barcelona, he didn't get injured, at this time. So something at PSG definitely went wrong for him. I think it's player power, something like that. For PSG, I think this is bad because they're losing a top 3 player in a row, and either way, I still don't think they would win the Champions League with Neymar.
All right. Okay. Before I go to Juju Man, now this is what I'd like to see. The Chills one with another super chat says, Mane, I'm sorry. It's 2019. I've changed. Peace is greater than war. So, Mane, do you accept his apology?
Don't.
Nah, fuck that nigga.
What a dub, dude. What a dub.
Okay.
Oh my.
Moving on swiftly.
Oh my.
Moving on very swiftly.
This guy.
Jujuman, please. Loan deal. Does a loan deal work for Barcelona? And if Neymar goes to Barca, do they make them the favorites automatically?
Yes. Like Barcelona will be overwhelmingly, like they'll be way ahead of everyone if they get Neymar. And with Neymar,
Way ahead. Relax.
Yeah, they'll be way ahead of everyone because Neymar is. He has the potential. Like he's a great player. And what's it called? If I was PSG, the wisest thing to do is to take like Coutinho and Dembele. Just do a direct swap, because like if you sell Neymar, trust me, PSG are not winning Champions League without Neymar. That's just like they're not going to touch that Champions League without Neymar. So the best option is to just get 2 other players like Coutinho and Dembele, and you can do better. They'll be better. They'll be better off.
Can I quickly interject to ask a question?
Yeah.
You've been very critical of Coutinho, so why do you want PSG to get him?
Because he's like, at least he's an additional player. Because if they just sell Neymar and don't get any,
they need someone back. They need someone back. Yeah, they need someone back.
Yeah, because
you get the Oud, and then you have a front three of Cavani, the Oud, and Mbappe, or is it not Di Maria?
No, but just stack. You never know. Coutinho might just work. You just get as much as you can, because the worst thing they can do, give him a loan, because that is guaranteed. PSG are not touching that Champions League. They're not touching it without Neymar. Like it's guaranteed. But if they get other players now, no one knows. No one knows what. Like they're unpredictable. Facts. No one will know about them.
Okay. All right. Liverpool, everybody.
No, I prefer to see Neymar suffer. I mean, he wanted to go and be a part of that project. You gotta sit there and suck it up. Pause. So I mean, it's not. This is not even a topic. No disrespect that I'm even concerned about. I mean, Neymar wanted to go there. He has to stay there. And I think somebody said if he went to Barcelona, they're automatically favorites to win the Champions League. I don't see it that way. But stay at PSG and try to work it out.
No. For me, I think, look, as I said again, for if Neymar goes back to Barcelona, then it shows that you're a loser and you're a chump because
Correct.
yeah.
Oh wait, no, it's not like it just
No,
doesn't
he's
like it.
he,
Like,
no,
it didn't work out. Like we make mistakes in life.
Let's
We make mistakes in life.
not
We are
not
perfect.
like this, not like this.
The incest was the mistake, buddy.
No, we're not perfect. If he made mistakes, you can
Allegedly.
correct it.
Okay. Okay. Hardcore. Hit it. Hardcore.
Okay, yeah, I'm the last one yet again, but okay, fair enough.
Damn.
For me
He
personally,
missed it.
What the fuck is with this depressing?
Look what hardcore. Just talk. Just talk.
I'm the last one
Just
once
talk.
again. What the fuck?
let me talk. Let me talk.
God
So
damn, that was depressing.
the thing is, I think Neymar. I don't know because when I was watching the Super Cup yesterday, the French Super Cup, he
Wow,
felt
what's the
upset
French Super
when
Cup?
I think Mbappe scored that second goal. You see, so I think
Oh no, he didn't celebrate. He didn't celebrate. He didn't celebrate.
Wait. Let him talk. Let him
everything
talk. Let him talk.
I think for me, I don't see him moving because Barcelona, if they buy him, they're gonna go in depth. I think they're gonna freeze him out.
No,
I
chill,
think he's
chill.
gonna play for the under 23 PSG team.
That's
Legend, my man.
And to be honest, it's not me being mean, but it's just like, bro,
That's
like
his level.
he's been so like how do you say lazy, he doesn't want to stay fit, he doesn't want to be serious about football, he wants to go partying. So like when you do that and the board doesn't believe in you, like the only option that I can see, and then the team doesn't Barcelona don't want to sign you, and they're afraid they're gonna go in debt. I could only see you go to the under 19 team, the under 23 team, or one of these youth academies.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's not
Okay. All right.
happening.
Hardcore.
It's not
Okay. All right.
happening.
Good. Nish.
Okay, so this is actually like a good deal for both teams, but for different reasons. For Barcelona, it's more about immediate gratification. I think they want to win the Champions League within the next 3 seasons, and during this Messi era, this Messi tenure, they want to give Messi another Champions League, and Messi wants that Champions League. So the best way that they feel to do that is to get Neymar back. Neymar, I think would fit in seamlessly into the system because he's already played there. He has a good relationship with Messi even after these couple of years. And so I think with Neymar and the personality that he brings, if they rotate him and keep him fit for the whole season, I think their chances of winning the Champions League would go up tremendously. For PSG, it's more of a long-term benefit thing. They're not going to win the Champions League this season. They're probably not going to win the season after. But the fact of the matter is that PSG are a team that need to improve in several positions. And if Neymar were to first get a loan, I think he would definitely commit to a full-on transfer the season after. And PSG would get a lot of money in return, which they can use to buy a DM, which they need desperately, a box-to-box midfielder, another winger. Possibly maybe that's Dembele, maybe it's not, maybe it's Coutinho, somebody. Some reinforcements in defense, a replacement for Thiago Silva, better wingbacks. I think like they've learned that in order to win the Champions League, you have to like improve steadily, and then become more consistent, and then finally you can take that next step and win the final. So that's the sort of mentality that Leonardo, the sporting director, is bringing at PSG. And it's an open secret that Leonardo doesn't get along with Neymar because Neymar's personality and his superstar mentality is getting in the way of this vision that Bernardo has. So there's like some friction between those two in the dressing room.
Okay.
So yeah, dude, like no. And last thing, like, is that like I'm finally glad we're getting a world class left winger in La Liga since Cristiano left, because all we've been dealing with are Burger Kings. So.
Down. All right.
Okay.
Right, Rahimski.
Why do PSG need the money though?
Wait. Chill.
They're rich.
Rahimski.
I mean, let's be honest. If PSG loan Neymar back to Barca, they're basically showing the world. They're setting a precedent for themselves that if you're a superstar, you can get away with anything at that club. That's a tap on the wrist. I mean, if you're loaning him, he's going to be purchased the year after. It is what it is. For Barcelona, I mean, you're setting a precedent that you can cause trouble as well and come back no problem as long as you're good enough, which is fine. I mean, in the world of football, these top talents are very rare to come by. But for PSG, it would just look disgusting for the club. I mean, the organization's already looked pretty bad lately, and I don't think they would want to do that to themselves. I think for Neymar, though, staying at PSG would be a bad look, just because of the way the club has treated him, and his overall narrative in world football has steadily declined, especially since that last World Cup. I think for Neymar,
No longer
the
top
best
3
bet-
or top 5 in the world, but carry on.
Yeah, I mean, I would still say he's the top talent, but I mean, the way his career's panned out, it's looking a little tough to defend that.
Decline.
Yeah, I mean, for him, I think the best course of action. I mean, of course, he's welcome at Real Madrid, but the best of course of action is to reassess his options and maybe consider a new club besides PSG and Barca.
All right. Mane.
Okay, but
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Neymar, he has to go. He has to leave PSG. But if he leaves, he should go to maybe Real Madrid, or if worse things, if he can't find a home, Man United, I suppose, would take him. But
What?
for the worst thing
Oh
for
my
him would
days,
be
this
to go
guy,
back
bruv.
to Barcelona, because that would just be like an admission of defeat. It's like I have to go back to my daddy Messi because I can't win anything without Messi. That's what it would
So
be
true.
if he goes back to Barcelona. So he has to,
man.
if he wants to leave PSG, he has to go somewhere else that's not Barcelona. Otherwise, that'll be his whole legacy. It'll be he couldn't do anything without Messi. He left. He failed 3 consecutive seasons, and then
That's
he's
true. That's
coming
true.
back now to
It's
assume
not true.
to assume what he was before.
That's
So
not a bad thing.
it's a terrible thing for him because once he go back to Barcelona, that's guaranteed he'll never win Ballon
His
d'Or.
legacy.
Wait,
is done.
response,
His legacy
response,
is
Unless
done.
Messi's gonna retire
Wait,
before
no,
Neymar,
response,
right?
response. Wait, look,
He's
look.
never,
Wait,
unless Messi somehow chooses to retire, which
wait,
I
no,
don't
look,
think
look.
there's any reason why.
Yeah, but
Would he
response.
not choose
Wait, I have,
to logic with
I
this
have an
guy?
opposite view. I don't think going back to Barca will be the best decision right now in Neymar's career. One reason is what's it called? It just didn't work out. It didn't work out.
So he failed. So he failed.
No, it
It shows that he's a
doesn't
failure.
Why can't he go to a different
No,
team?
Jujuman, he shows that he's a failure. No, Jujuman.
No, it's not okay.
If you made a big deal, if you made a big deal going to PSG, and you're now running back to Barcelona because you said, "Oh, I'm too good for them," it shows that you're a failure.
No. Like this was he's a failure, Double H. But it's like if you make a mistake, if you make a mistake, like you can write it off. You don't have to just, like it's not over. It's not over. His career is not over. He has at least 5 years. He has 5 years.
Jujuman, he's on a decline. He's not relevant anymore. He's not relevant anymore.
Yeah, sure. I know he's not relevant, but he made a mistake. If I was Neymar, the best decision, go to Barca, make a speech like Messi, apologize to the fan, apologize to the
like
fan.
a loser.
No, it's not.
Like
It's not
a
a loser
loser.
mentality. It's not a loser mentality. No. It's I'm serious, guys. You have to take out your pride. You have to take out your pride. You made a mistake. Yeah, but you made a mistake. You go apologize and. It's all cancelled. You made a mistake. It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. No, because he has good chemistry with that team. And
also, he needs a team that.
No. Everyone needs a good chemistry. Like you just have to like. We all make mistakes. Like we're not perfect. He made a mistake. It looks like, and the best thing right now is he has to get like PSG have to sell him because it's just as Andre said, it's a terrible environment, and he can go to Barca, apologize, and it's all good. It's all good. Like he made a mistake. Like it's all good.
Yeah, but anything he wins is not going to be credited.
It's credited. It's credited.
Wait, let me get this some of these super chats first, man, and then I'll get back to you guys. So, from Martin Rosario, who says, people call FG a CR7 stan and hardcore a bitter Barca hater, but never mention Juju, a Barca and Laesi D rider. Anyone else notice that this laugh my ass off faves by far? Okay. Juju, but I'll let you respond. Chill, let's respond. From KO Khalid, what the hell happened to Mane? # oh my goal. Well, Khalid, as I've said again, Mane is Liverpool's most important attacking player. Salah is overrated. And Mr. Adam Kamegi, thank you very much for your £1 donation. So, Jujuman, you wanted to respond to that diss?
Yes, I'm not a Messi rider. Look, I think football is limited. Like when you see great players, you have to appreciate them. Like we can't just act as if this is Messi is a great player. I have to appreciate it, and I have numbers to back that this stuff I'm saying. Because people say I mean, Ronaldo. I mean, it's been finished. But not to
Five-time
bring him
Champions
up.
League winner,
No,
man.
but he's been
And
finished.
two international trophies.
That's
too,
the
something
past. That's the past. That's the past.
What
Nations
past?
League
That's
doesn't
the
count.
He
past.
just won it this
But
season.
but performance-wise, he's not been among the best. But with Messi, that's why I appreciate.
Can Messi
No,
score a
no,
hat
look,
trick in
look.
this international
No.
semifinal?
Let him
Let me
finish, bro.
Okay,
Look,
let this
look,
man. Let this man land. Let
Yeah.
this man land. Let me land. Let me land.
Look, if you see Mbappe, he missed the goals, but I give him credit. I give even Salah, I criticize him, and I give him credit. With Messi, it's the same. Like you remember, I got abused for Messi criticism. Like he needs to do it in the Champions League. He did it, so I have nothing to say. But good stuff about the guy because he's doing it. He's backing his work, and today he made another speech. So I mean, I have to give him credit because he's actually doing what he says, and he's among the best in the world. So it's
Yeah, but I
not
think
right.
look at
Due credit.
look at the problem with Messi though. I mean, he recently just got a 3-month ban for talking to begin with. Where was the old Messi that didn't say anything and just played and fucking dominated?
And
But remember,
he's talking too much. I don't want to hear your
Are you
opinion.
saying he's a clone?
Remember, people criticize. People criticize Messi for having no personality. He didn't show any emotion.
But he's not
Now he
backing
shows
anything up
emotions.
with his
He's criticized
backing it
again.
up. He's not
What is he
backing it
supposed
up.
to do? No,
He's not
he
backing it
is.
up.
Oh no! Okay, wait. Okay,
Okay,
look,
but
chill.
we're
Okay,
veering
look.
off
Wait.
topic, but
Wait.
Yeah.
We have to move on. Chill. We have to move on. We have to move on. But
wait, no. HH.
okay, Ahmed.
If
Okay,
PSG
last points
if P-
from Ahmed. Go.
okay, if PSG just get money and no players for Neymar, it's not worth it. PSG need players.
Okay, all right. So, but look, just to round that off, man. Look, as I said again, if Neymar goes to Barcelona and that's the best move for him, that's cool. That's fine. I've got nothing against it. But it is what it is. You've got to do whatever is best for your career. But if you go back to Barcelona, I would not have the same respect for you that I thought I had because I thought you were that dude. I thought you were going to waltz into PSG as an individual and lead them to a Champions League. And if you had done that, I would say, no, he is that dude. This guy has that call within him. So, because again, Ibra couldn't do it. That's why we're going to have an Ibra discussion about how Ibra is overrated and has never sniffed a Champions League final before. We'll have that chill. We'll have that conversation next Sunday. Relax. I told you, #exposure season. It's going to come in full effect very soon. Just watch out.
Thank you.
That is it for this topic. And now we have to move on to our next topic on the agenda, which is a very interesting one, man. So, Juventus. What's going on? I'm confused. What the hell is going on here? Now, before I give you guys the floor, here's how it is. I believe in Paulo Dybala. I believe Paulo Dybala is still a very, very talented player. You can say that he's out of form, he may not fit in, he may this and that. This dude is a very talented dude. I believe this dude scored 4 Gs in one game. And I think it was like 3 or 4 seasons ago in a Serie A game.
God, come on, man. 4 years ago.
Wait. I'll give you guys the floor. Let me talk. So, this dude is quality. And I'll be fully here. If Juventus sell Dybala to Man United, no offense to Man United, I love you guys, no offense. But if they sell him to Man United, man, I've got to induct Juventus. I've got to induct the entire. Wait, let me land. If they do this, I'm gonna have to induct them. I have to induct you or your badge because it would be one of the most idiotic, most stupid things that they would have ever done. Literally, it would be one of the most stupid things and that they would have ever done. So I just think that, and I just hope, and I just pray that these guys are not being totally stupid with this thing right now because Dybala is having to fight for his place in Juventus. And how this guy was, because look, it would have been a great deal. If United had got Dybala, it would have been an absolutely great deal. But no offense to United. Again, I mean this without any disrespect. Dybala is far too good for Man United. Okay. Man United in 2019, not United as a whole. United, of course, they're a big club. They're a massive club, one of the biggest clubs in the world. But Manchester United, as a footballing entity in 2019, are not good enough for Paulo Dybala. So I'm going to give this to the floor right now. Where do you think Dybala is going to end up? And do you think Dybala is being disrespected? So, A1, your view on this whole Dybala situaciones. Abdullahi, your view on this whole Dybala situation.
Okay. Juventus just confirmed now that Dybala is staying. It's not going to United anymore because of the wages he wants to collect. They just confirmed he's staying. So he'll be joining back the boys in training tomorrow. He just came back, so he's gonna join the rest of the guys.
But even if that has happened, they have. How do you think the mood is going to be? Because they've disrespected him by wanting to sell him. So do you still think that he has a future at Juventus?
Yeah, come to me after.
He has a future as in Juventus because he said he wants to play in the Champions League. He doesn't want to play he doesn't want to play anywhere except the Champions League team. So because I think Juventus just agreed deal with Man United for Mario Mandzukic. So they're trying to offload the player, but it's too much. Mandzukic is gone. Moise Kean, that is the rising
Everton.
star in Juventus, just left for Everton. Moise Kean.
He's a nothing player, man. He's a nothing player.
I don't know why they're smoking. Moise Kean just left for Everton. There's a huge problem in that team that needs to be fixed. Either from the board, from the president, or from the manager. Something has to be fixed. Because Dybala is a very, very good player. He is a very good player. I don't know why they want to sell him house. I don't know. What the hell is wrong with Juventus?
No.
Yeah, let me speak.
They're crazy.
Let me speak.
All right. Okay, A1.
Alright, cool. I think the reason why they want Dybala gone because you could say Dybala, his position, he's not a natural number 9. He's more of a number 10 / second striker. And Sarri plays 4-3-3 instead of 4-2-3-1. So in the whole number 10 second striker role, he's got a free role. But now it's going to be 4-3-3. Either Dybala either plays on the right or plays centre midfield, and you're not going to get the best out of him. And I'm pretty sure Sarri knows this. So that's why he wants a proper natural striker in Lukaku to take over and so he can fit in his system. So I think that's the problem with Dybala. He was not able to fit in Sarri's system, and I think Juventus are just desperate to win the Champions League, so they're just doing whatever to try and secure it in it. Because right now, some of the deals, not just the Dybala, even the Jar Cancelo, they're swapping him for Danilo, which doesn't make sense. They're letting go of Moise Kean, doesn't make sense. So I think this is Juventus being desperate, doing what they need to do to try and win the Champions League. And they're thinking letting Dybala go and swapping it for Lukaku, who's a more of a natural striker that can fit the Sarri system, that will work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ahmed.
I think that Dybala's he's a pretty good player. There's no way around it. And I think he's being disrespected by the way that they're trying to force him out. But what I will say is that if the deal doesn't work, if I was Juventus, I wouldn't press it too much because I think that Dybala could be used, not just for squad depth, but even in the formation. I think he can learn to adapt to the Sarri system. I'm confident that Sarri can get Dybala to adapt to the system. I think he'd be a great asset because he could come off the bench, he could start, and remember.
I think Dybala can flourish in the Sarri system personally, but
exactly that's what Juventus aren't having enough faith in him, and they should have more faith in Dybala, and they should keep Dybala because, like I said, he could either be a great starter or he could be a key for squad depth for Juventus.
Okay.
Because remember, they're gonna prioritize the Champions League next season, so they're gonna be a little less on the Serie A again. So if they keep fooling around like in the Champions League and the Serie A, they're gonna need more players to increase the squad depth, and also if a player gets injured. So if Ronaldo gets injured, Dybala could be there as a substitute. Like that would be an okay substitution. He's an important part for Juventus. Juventus shouldn't get rid of him. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, all right. So because before I go to FG, let me just do some of these super chats. So Martin Rosario says people who think Laessi is better than Cristiano also think Drake is better than Kendrick. Wow. So basically, you're saying that Drake is Messi.
Drake's better than who?
Okay, Kendrick Lamar. From young. Okay, so young one now. Young one says, yo, I'm hearing myself in the back. Okay, look, I'm gonna have to do a little mutage here. So, young one says, Dybala too comfortable and scared of the challenge.
Wait, Jalen, mute your mic.
No, it's
Yeah. Okay, so young one says Dybala too comfortable and scared of the challenge. No, young one. Let's be real here. Let's be real here. You can't go from the Champions League to the Europa League. That's not fair. That's just stupid. Okay, that is a step down, and that's just being disrespectful. I think it would be a pretty interesting move for him, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to use the words of Jujuman, is a rookie. So let's just be fair here. So original base Annie Super Chat says, my problem is the treatment of Dybala. Ole wants players whose heart is in it. So it's best he stays at Juve. Can't be having Di Maria 2.0. And I fully agree, because again, that is why United should sell Pogba. So if they get Dybala, is Dybala going to come there wanting to really be with United and really part of United, really wants to really be part of the efforts? I don't really know. So it's that's a very good point, because look, man, Dybala wants to stay at Juventus. And I don't think I would 100% Dybala would not be fully motivated to be at United, and that's not what you want. So FG, hit it.
Yeah. Before I talk to Dybala, I talk about Juve's. I just want to say Keane. Wait, Keane. Look, Keane. This dude is trash. He's chubby. He's slow, and he's too raw. So I don't see him staying Premier League. The Cancelo thing, I get what they're selling Cancelo because defensively not that good, but getting Danilo in a swap is a bad deal. And going to Dybala, I'm okay with Lukaku going to Juventus, because end of the day, Juve needs goals. Only Ronaldo can score. Dybala can't get you 20 goals a season. Lukaku can, and I can't. I just don't see Dybala starting in this team, even if he stays. So I personally think by the end of the summer, I can see him going to PSG, considering PSG's sporting director Leonardo Dybala. If we can't get Lukaku, we might just sell Dybala and try to get Icardi with that money.
Okay. All right. Forward.
So I've got a couple points to make on this. So first of all, the whole Moise Kean situation, yeah, they sold him, but there's a buyback clause. So, and if he shows the quality that most of us believe he has, then they're going to buy him back. Secondly, obviously factoring in that, also the Danilo signing, obviously the potential swap between Lukaku and Dybala, which seems off now. It just screams desperation from Juventus. They look like they're trying to put everything into the microwave, warm up, and see what can happen, because they know they've got Cristiano only for a couple of years now. So they're going to see if they can win the Champions League with him now. And it's been like 10, 15 years since they've even been in a final, let alone won it. So there's a lot of desperation there. And yeah, in terms of obviously what A wanted at the start of this, and I agree with a lot of what you said, because they are going to be playing a 3-3. And if you want to get the best out of the ball, you've got to play him in a number 10 or as a second striker where he flourishes. And they play a 4-3-3 going forward, and then when they're defending, it's a 4-4-2. That's what Sarri always done, and that's what he done at Chelsea, which many people didn't realize. So you're gonna have Ronaldo, Cristiano, and then whoever your striker is as the front two, and then you're gonna have basically the right winger as your right mid or two. And basically, the point I'm trying to make is, can you trust Dybala to play that position? No, you can't. And a player of his caliber, should he really be on the bench for the entire season? No, we shouldn't. So we should make a move somewhere else now.
But is United the right move though? That's the question.
Oh hell no! United is a horrible move for him. But again, when you wait, let me
let me down.
Nobody else for him, and then where else are you gonna go? Of course, United is a horrible move for him. Going under a manager like Oli, he's a rookie, and I can even see Oli go into a situation where he probably fancy someone like Greenwood or Rashford to play over, just because he wants that that hard working British mentality. You know that shit where someone's ability that Dybala has, he should be cultivated and should be. But he's not going to get that under Sarri at Juventus, clearly, and it makes sense. Even though he's a much better player than Lukaku, he's not as good a fit as Lukaku would be in that Sarri system, at least you could say. But I mean, there's even question marks over Lukaku. But again, sticking on Dybala, he should move away, because a player of his caliber shouldn't be on the bench for an entire season. But for people saying that, oh, he should stay, or no, he shouldn't stay because he's not a good fit in the system. It's clear. Juventus trying to get something to win the Champions League right now, and if he stays, he's not going to be a vital part in that. So he should leave, and not to United. Probably to PSG would be a decent move. If Neymar leaves, then he should definitely leave.
Okay. Hardcore.
To be honest, I would love him in Milan. I'm not gonna lie.
Too
Because
good for
Milan
Milan.
needs world class player, y'all. Like I just want to get a world class player in our team. Um, I think what will I say about Juventus? Juventus board is just terrible, in all honesty. Like some of the deals that they've been doing, like in the past 2 or 3 years now, has just been amazing. Like, how do you? What I don't understand is, so for example, Moise Kean, right? Moise Kean was one of their best young players last season, and they literally showed him to Everton. They had another guy who was called Spinazzola. Like this guy was like world class. Like I wouldn't say he's world class, but he was terrific last season, and he was amazing. Excuse me. And they didn't even keep him. They sold him to Roma, and to me that made no sense. And the problem with Juventus is because I feel like this is the problem here is the CR7 doesn't need a striker because I was watching Italian football TV and some guy made a really good point where CR7 doesn't need a striker who will just be a goal scorer and score goals. He needs a striker who's gonna gel with him, who has good chemistry and who's gonna make those same runs that he got in Real Madrid with Benzema. Because if you looked when Ronaldo was in Real Madrid, he had really good link up plays with Benzema in Real Madrid. You get what I'm saying? So I personally think, to be really honest with you, I think for Juve, I just keep Higuain and probably I would just sell Dybala because I don't see
Keep
Lukaku
Higain.
fitting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep Higuain and don't even get Lukaku because I mean, what's the point of okay, except for aerial ability? I think Lukaku. Okay, yes, Lukaku's good. Don't get me wrong. Lukaku's good in aerial ability, but link up play, chemistry with CR7, I don't see what he gives you.
No, no,
I
no.
don't see
I
what he
think
gives you.
people underrate teams. People underrate teams because there are times, and I will fully admit it. There are definitely times in which um, teams can be this. Sometimes he can be he can be like this, but there are other times if you have faith in him where teams can actually give you some very good link up play. And remember that game against Brazil. Lukaku was
But,
very key. Lukaku
All right,
was
no,
so
no,
very
no,
key in that game.
no, no. But HH,
Okay,
that was
but look, hardcore round off because we have to go to other people. So just round off your point.
okay, okay. I'll round off. But to be honest, right? Like the problem with Juventus, and this is my thing, is they only saw it in one game. It's not like he did it in multiple games. They've only seen him do this in one game. So, and that's the problem. There is I think the Juve board, like they need to fix their board and get right players for CR7 because I don't think Lukaku is the right player for them. Dybala, I think United. I don't even know if he'll do well in United too. I think for Dybala, if I was personally me, I'd go to I don't know, Bayern Munich. PSG is not a UCL. They're not gonna win the UCL for him. So I think Bayern just makes sense,
Okay.
or like a team like what's gonna call it, Chelsea. Chelsea could do it at Dybala because they need a world class player. So I think Chelsea could do it someone like him.
and so bad.
So yeah, I mean, I'll just round off and say to be honest, I don't know about you Juve fans, but what is your aim and what kind of players do you really need to win the UCL? Because this is the problem: is you're not buying players who will help you win the UCL. You're buying players who is
Okay.
gonna even make you more
All
mediocre.
right.
You get
Okay.
what I'm saying?
All right. All right. Jujuman.
With Dybala, I don't blame him for not joining United. I mean, Like I say this last year and I
Wait,
got
wait, wait,
abused. I
wait,
call
wait. Don't,
United.
don't disrespect United, man.
No. I said they were nothing team, and I was again. And now we see I was right. So if you remove Pogba and look at that United team, it's frightening. It is frightening.
Wait,
And,
so Rashford isn't is not world class according to you.
he's alright. He's alright. He's not like he's alright. He's not like anything.
Tier
What are you
three?
trying to say? You're trying to say Rashford's world class? What?
Yeah, but he's
Wait,
alright.
okay,
He's
So
average.
would you put him tier 3?
I mean, tier 3, tier 4, yeah, around there. It's
Okay.
not like oh my goodness, I cannot wait to watch Rashford.
Okay,
No,
okay.
he's
Wait,
alright.
back to Dybala. So for
Yeah.
Dybala,
Like I don't blame him for not taking. I wouldn't go to United. And if you look at like history, like I mean recent history, Di Maria, all these South American players, they don't seem to do well at United. So a good decision not to go there because it's like chances are high you would have done like bad. You would have been bad. And the other thing is, I agree. Like the one thing Ford said is the Bayern Munich. I had the same opinion. I think he should have gone there because I mean, you see guys like Coleman and Renato Sanchez getting chances. That's your best bet. And like with the Germans, like they give you chances. Like they just don't throw you all out. Like you have to fail miserably to throw you out. So they'll give you chances. So that's the best decision. As for Juventus, I mean, I hope they know what they're doing. I mean, I guess everyone else is. I just said it like this. I guess everyone else is just wasting their time spending money. Juventus can just buy cheap players and win Champions League. Like we'll see. We'll see.
all right.
We'll see.
Mr. Juvenile 99 man, Dybala.
Yeah. See, the thing with Dybala is that a lot of people keep saying it's like the system and that it was Allegri's fault and thing, but if you actually look back at the beginning of the 17-18 season, that you'd see that in his first 6 games, Dybala had 10 goals. So I don't think it's anything to do with Allegri's system. I think the thing with Dybala is he's inconsistent basically. He'll have a good run of form and then 2, 3, 4 months he won't score against anyone. Again, good run of form, same thing over again. And if you saw in the 17-18 season, he only scored against Lazio and Milan out of the top 6 teams. And in those games, he only scored penalties, I think. So, I mean, and if you go back to the game against Atletico, the first leg this last season, the game against Madrid and the quarterfinals the season before, and the final, Dybala hasn't showed up for Juventus. And Juventus need Dybala for these kind of games. He's their number 10. He's supposed to be the star.
Okay, okay, Juvenile. Let me ask you. Look, we all know that he ain't no Del Piero. Del Piero is special, and very few players will ever pretty much give you what Del Piero gave you as a flipping number 10. But, would you sanction and would you accept Dybala getting sold? Would you be happy if Dybala is sold from your club? It's a yes or no, man. It's a yes or no. Can Juventus thrive and exist without Dybala being in the team whatsoever? Not being in the club whatsoever.
Yeah, I think so. I think they can do it.
Wow. Okay. Well, you're putting a lot of faith in Aaron Ramsey and Rabiot then. All right. Liverpool, everybody. Dybala, your thoughts?
Yeah, never mind the fact if it's harsh or disrespectful or not. It is what it is, and people are saying that they need him. I don't know if they do need him, and obviously Juventus don't think they need him. So I think it'd be a career suicide to go to United for all the obvious. If it's just about money and playing time, go to Asia. But I mean, if you really want to advance your career, and obviously you said it already, you can't go from Champions League to Europa League. That just can't happen.
Nah.
Some of the other guys that mentioned Bayern and stuff like that. Bayern need a lot of help. I don't know if Dybala is going to be the one that takes them over the line. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate what's going on. But this he's a growing man, so you got to just deal with it.
Okay. Nish. Mr. Nish.
Honestly, it's not a bad move at all. It's not a bad move at all for Dybala. It's just the wrong club that they're trying to deal with. But yeah, then again, like the deal is off, based on like what was said today by Tancredi Palmieri, Fabrizio Romano. The thing is, right now, like it looks like Lukaku is actually going to Inter Milan because Inter Milan are the latest club to have bid for him. Dybala, like leaving Juventus, not a bad idea. I don't think he's going to be a starter as it is into the coming season. So the best team for him, I think, is PSG, not Man United for all the reasons, all the aforementioned reasons. And I think the bigger like loss for Juve is actually not even going to be Dybala. It's probably going to be Cancelo if these rumors are true that Man City are going to like get him like in the coming season and they're trading Danilo for. I mean, Danilo was like so crap, dude. He's not going to do anything. And in my opinion, dude, this team is going to go as far in the Champions League basically as Cristiano's goals take them. Yeah.
Okay. Rahimski.
I just have a quick question for the panel.
Mm.
What do the following managers have? Scaloni, Allegri, Sabella, and Martino.
Serious?
No, they all benched Dybala. Now the thing is, yes, Dybala has shown moments of brilliance. I agree with a lot of what Juvenile said actually about his inconsistencies. We know what he's capable of, and if it's 4 managers, including club and international managers, that are benching you, we got to start asking questions, regardless of how talented you may seem to be. You're being benched internationally and club-wise. What's going on? You're not showing up. Are you a Juventus caliber player? Doesn't seem like it right now. Now for Juve, selling Dybala and Cancelo in one season and replacing them with Ramsey and Rabiot doesn't exactly seem like the wisest choice if you're willing to win the Champions League this season.
Exactly.
So it's a double-edged sword. I would say if you can sell Dybala, make sure to get a replacement for him.
Mm-hmm.
Would I do it? I probably would, because 4 managers have decided that they would as well.
Okay, all right. Mane.
He'd be good off the bench though.
I mean, for Dybala, he doesn't really have options. First of all, rejecting Man United is how many more clubs really are interested in him? Barcelona don't want him. Real Madrid
so
don't
Mane,
want him.
you're saying that he should have accepted the United move. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I'm not saying accept it, but I mean, when he looks at his options, it's either he's going to be a bench player or he's going to play in a decent club. So I don't know what he's thinking. Maybe he thinks he's above Man United or some reason. But also, no, they wanted him, but he said he doesn't want it to. He refused. But he's saving face. But maybe PSG. But PSG would be an okay. They don't really need him. They have a lot of number 10s in that position, support strikers. So for him, he doesn't really have that many options. So he shouldn't be that prideful. Man City rejected him, of course, 2 times. But I don't know, Juventus don't really need him. So Dybala should really decide what he wants to do with his career. I guess he likes Juventus that much, where he's gonna be a bench player for the rest of his career. But sure, let him stay then.
But Manny, do you know going to United means you're not going to play in the Champions League for 2 years, at least 2 years.
Not necessarily, no.
No, it's not hating. It's just like this team is not going to finish top 4 unless a miracle happens. And so you're off this season. Next season it doesn't look like they're going to finish top 4 based on other teams.
I don't think so. I think if he went to United,
so 2 years at least.
he would fit in with the young players they have with Rashford and more so than Lukaku does.
All right. Okay. So
and with Greenwood as
all right.
well.
Let's just round off. Wait. Let's just round. Okay, we have to round off. So let me just hit the super chats here. So original base Annie says it's not hard working. It's passion over paycheck. Now original base Annie. It's 2019 stroke 2020. Everyone does it for the paycheck. Club for football is about money. 99% of the people who operate in club football do it for the cash. Hence why you have a dude like Bale who was considering going to flip in China. So, guys, with that, and let me just end it with this. A lot of people have been taking shots at me because of my visions that I have for Chelsea. Be very, very, very wary of what's going to happen because something is brewing this coming season. August 14th, it goes down. And let me reiterate what I said on the... let me reiterate what I said on Twitter. If Liverpool, Champions League winners, 97 points, if Liverpool lose to Chelsea in the Super Cup, they should give all of their Champions League medals back to UEFA. 100%. This is non-negotiable. This is not what I'm asking for. If Liverpool lose to Chelsea, a team without Zad, a team that all of you guys have insulted and said they're trash, and they allow the sick, aka Captain America, aka the red, white, and blue, they allow them to get beaten by that team, Liverpool have to hand back all of their Champions League medals. It all goes down on August 14th. It all goes through. So, just very briefly, so Abdi Hassan says, Mane equals Lescott. Mane is greater than a tranny. It's on site, G. Bro, Mane, seriously. Wait, what do guys have against Mane? He's such a sweet, lovely individual.
He be talking reckless. No, he be talking reckless.
Yeah, I mean, jeez, I don't know. Okay, so guys, look what it's out. I'll see you guys next Sunday. Peace out, stay true, stay black. Period. Peace out.